I've traveled all over the United States in search of some of the most amazing woodworking tools you'll ever see. Some of these will absolutely reshape the future of woodworking. I can't wait to show you all of these, and I've compiled them all into one compilation video for you, so you sit back and enjoy all of these amazing tools. Let's go. I'll link to all these tools in the description and the pinned comment to help you find them easier. All right, we're here with Kingston from Rip It Fence,
Yep,
and they have an automated rip fence for your table saw.
So it's got a keypad. It's just a regular fence in a lot of ways, but with a keypad and a motor, and you type in on the keypad to move it over into place. So say you want to cut like 24 inches, you type 24, move, goes in, locks into place. As far as like calibrating to know like what's zero and where the blade is at, you can automatically calibrate by typing auto home, and then it'll go and move towards the blade and feel the force back from the blade and know that that's zero.
That's cool.
And then you can also manually calibrate it as well.
What table saws would this fit on?
Pretty much any table saw, especially if you have a Biesemeyer, you're already used to the angled aluminum or iron. You take off the angle, you take off the rail, and then you put on this assembly. So what we're selling is the fence plus the assembly of the rail and everything.
Is this the saw stop it's on now?
It is, yeah.
Is it just one size fits all, or how's it work?
Okay, so we have different standard lengths that we're planning on selling. Theoretically, you can just cut it and use any length. So, but we have 52 inch is probably the minimum, and then we can go from there. And we're kind of waiting to hear from people as far as like what the most common lengths are. But we can do any length of rail.
Will it also work left side of the blade or only right?
Yes, it will work on the left side of the blade.
Okay.
You just tap left on the settings, and then everything's reversed and it moves to the left.
Nice. I see you got a Kickstarter campaign y'all just launched.
Yeah, today.
Really?
We just launched today, so we're trying to get to 150 as quickly as possible.
That's your goal, 150?
Yeah, we want to get above that.
Right.
There's a lot of other things, like people have asked for different features.
Right.
We want to add some of those.
So you possibly could have more features coming to this.
Yeah,
like
cut lists, like you could import
Oh,
cut
that'd be
lists.
cool.
So you don't have to like type it in. You have a design for like a cabinet or something, and you just send that off, and then all your cuts are imported into the fence, and you just tap on it, and it moves there, and you cut your, whatever you're cutting, and that's it.
And I'm assuming this is dust resistant.
Oh yeah, it's been through the ringer.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We're with Skylar from Surf Prep. Skylar, thank you. Can
Yeah, you bet, Matt.
you tell us a little bit about what you got here?
Absolutely. So it's basically it's a sanding system that was originally developed for like large OEM manufacturing environments.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing today is a lot of non-vacuum environments are now going to dust extraction so that we can pull that dust up off the part we're sanding immediately at the point of contact.
Okay.
We've been honored and blessed over the last 5-6 years. We've won 2 different Visionary Awards.
Nice.
For innovation and productivity in sanding with the system. And we've had finishing departments, for factories with as many as 600 employees, or Taylor Guitar,
Yep.
for instance, in San Diego. Not only do they have downdraft tables, but they also have in some of these environments, they're now introducing the dust extraction so that they have a completely clean environment to where you don't even need to wear a dust mask.
Nice. So my audience is majority garage, beginner, not beginner, but
yeah.
intermediate woodworkers who have their own little shop. Is this something to work for them?
Absolutely. And it's kind of it's different than the DIY, marketplace where a lot of people are used to seeing like a shop vac, or they're seeing a sander that's a taller sander.
Right.
It sits up
Like the
higher.
DeWalt brands, and
Yeah,
big box store brands.
and make no mistake, there's no, that doesn't mean those are bad
Right.
products or bad companies. It's just that we designed our tools to be very low profile, so that the closer I can get your hand to the product you're sanding, the more control you have and the better sanding action you have.
Awesome.
These are also brushless.
Oh, cool.
So there's no brushes to fail. And so we get longevity. We get a lot of life out of these. And when people pick it up and they run it, it's kind of funny. You see those eyes on there?
Yeah.
So
googly
somebody
eyes.
came by and put these little button eyes on here.
Yeah.
And normally you want to see those things bounce around
Yeah.
and shake. And when you run our sander, they don't shake
Let's give it a try.
because it's so you're looking at those little black dots.
Yeah.
So typically they would be bouncing all around
Right.
in there, and the tool is so smooth and well balanced that it doesn't do that.
I also noticed that the dust extractor is very quiet.
Very.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's like no vibration there. That's
Yeah.
pretty
It's so applicable to the person in their garage.
Right.
We're getting reports back where people that have had nerve issues,
Yeah.
they're dealing with MS, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We have women today that are able to refinish furniture in their garages with the implementation of this tool, and they're not getting the pain that they once had in their hands, wrists, forearm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
pretty cool.
amazing.
So you also have a regular orbital sander, right?
Yeah, it's round,
Yep.
and that has a loping action to it, and it's mostly designed for large flat areas.
It's like tabletops, cutting boards, etc.
This tool here, in its Air version,
Yep.
Matt, years ago was actually designed for Toyota
Really?
for all of the door jams.
Yeah.
And you would never think that you would take a rectangular tool into a round area,
Yeah.
but we're sanding spindles on chairs, stretches, bun feet. It's just amazing.
So y'all have a bunch of different interface pads.
A lot of different. These are different foam abrasives.
Yeah.
And it's a 1/2 inch, a 10 millimeter, a 5 millimeter. But this here, wad that up in your hand, make it disappear. So you have abrasive grain on there. You see how that pops out of your hand?
Yeah.
So the flexibility there allows someone to drop the tool, kind of like in that image behind us. The foam takes the shape of the product that we're prepping.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I can turn this into a level sander too.
Oh, really?
I can shave down and I can change the shape of different substrates also.
Nice. And of course you have your own abrasives line of
Yep.
discs for your sanders and all that.
Yep. Yeah, and they also fit all the other sanders.
Oh, nice.
So if you've got a 3x5 big rectangular sander, we've got pads that fit that. So we're making them for just about everyone. Right now we're making our way through Benjamin Moore stores across
nice.
North America.
Yeah.
So
If someone wants to buy your surf prep
yeah,
sanders, where do they go?
you know what? I would say look for a Ben Moore store local in your area, and if Surf Prep's not yet in there, then come to us direct online.
Okay.
And we have a chat. We have people that handle our chat feature, and we're known for service.
Awesome.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's honored. It's
Thank
an honor to be chatting with you guys and to be
Appreciate you.
a part of what you have going on.
Yeah.
And our big thing is we're just trying to help as many people as we can get through the work that they're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right on. Yeah, you bet.
This is the most advanced table saw I have ever seen. Wait till you see all the features this has. I'm here with Mr. Brad Snyder from Altendorf with some of the coolest technology I've seen on table saws to date.
I appreciate you stopping by the booth.
What we got here?
This is the Altendorf handguard system. It is a preventative system instead of a reactive one to save these. It's the only one of its kind, unique. It does not utilize any kind of capacitive system. It actually utilizes cameras with an AI algorithm to monitor and track your hand, even if your hand is not quite, right. So let's just go through. It's got computer programming right here. You can store your programs if you have regular cuts that you make on a daily basis. Store that information in here. But we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what you really want to see. Start the saw. Let it come up to speed. We have an LED feedback light. That LED is telling me that the saw is on, but everything is safe. As I go through here, it's green, it's yellow. Saw is spinning, it does not see a hand. It's green, it sees a hand and it says you're safe. You're gonna make the cut. So, as I walk through, nothing happens. It's perfectly fine. It will allow me to make a cut slightly closer, but it's telling me, don't go any further.
Yeah.
So I can make that cut too. I'm moving slow. Let's say I get in a dangerous area. I've made 1 million cuts. I'm an old dog. I know how these tricks work, so I don't need to listen or worry about nothing. I got it. I put my hand way too dang close, and I move it way too fast.
Oh, wow.
I will not get to the point of cutting myself.
Yeah. And that doesn't ruin your blade. It doesn't do anything.
We call it a drive system. It is not dropping. It is driven down. It is 250 kilograms that motor assembly weighs, and it is moving fast.
Right.
It does not bottom out. For an industrial purposes, when it activates, and I reset it, it takes about 10 seconds for me to be cutting again.
Really?
So you're back on the job. And then I kick it back on.
And right now,
I go change my shorts
yeah.
and I get back to work.
So right now, this is just industrial setting, right?
Well, I mean, if you're a hobbyist and you got the money, by all means, brother, I will ship it. I promise you that.
But that's not the only interesting thing about this whole machine, right? You was talking about the guide rail system and how well this is balanced.
In all of our saws, Wilhelm Altendorf invented the sliding table saw. The progenitor of this company invented it about 118 years ago. The system that is underneath this sliding table is what I consider sets us apart from everyone else. It's a double dumbbell roller system. If you think of like looking at a train and the wheels that are on the train, that's kind of what it looks like. They're about yay big. Beefy, overkill.
Yeah.
But this system will last 50 years. I told you, I walked into a shop, guy had two from 1986, 7, working like a top.
Yeah.
All the forces of this table are fed directly perpendicular to the ground.
It's equally distributed.
There you go. It's equally distributed, not at any angles. Right. This tabletop will hold 250 kilograms. I can move it with a finger.
How many pounds is that?
Yeah, sorry. I know. I'm from Texas, and the kilograms, I'm like, sure, that's a lot. I know that. I'd say 500 and something.
Yeah.
Give or take.
A lot of weight.
A lot of weight. We can get the capacity up to 500 kilograms if we want. The reason for the engineering that's involved in this machine is to make it repeatable, accurate, and the quality of cut over and over and over again for many, many years. A CNC machine base, it's not bolted together. It is a single unit now.
Oh, okay.
That adds torsion resistance. That gives you, again, squareness.
Right.
Problem in all of our shops at times. We have CNC rip vents on this side. We have the capability of actually making 1 or 2 stops, CNC control. These are our manual right now on this particular element. Instead of using an eyeglass, let's say you have multiple employees. Everybody's going to read that scale a little bit different. You get it, let's say you want 29 and a half. Go ahead and get it close. We can fine tune it up where it needs to be.
Nice.
Put it right in the center of that channel. And now you can push it forward. Everything's fine, perfect. You're gonna make that cut, no problem. It will not activate. So now we drag it back. Let's get it back further. Because it's actually, we have a scoring unit, which is a little bitty a blade that just barely comes up, so it will activate if I get too close and do this. So from right here, go ahead and just put your hand like that.
Okay.
Run it forward. Go for it. Get after it. It's terrifying the first time. Again, all of this over-engineering equates to a machine that's going to last forever and a sliding table saw that you don't have to worry about because it's an open system. Dust, particles, they're going to get in there. There's a lot of maintenance that you have to deal with this system. Once every 3, 4, 5 years, take some compressed air and blow it in there.
That's it.
I know it's tough. It's tough. Go ahead, if you would, give it a push. Try the slide out for me.
Yeah, smooth as butter.
You could push it one hand, one finger, whatever you like. Do me a favor, bring it all the way back. No, bring it all the way back. Oh. My athletic body that I have worked so hard for is roughly 260 pounds. I'm gonna sit all the way on the end here. Would you mind putting me down there at the other end, please?
It's still smooth, like you can't even feel it.
There's no difference, is there?
No,
There's no difference.
Zero difference.
So being this weight, all the way at the end, you still can't feel the difference. Yeah. It just speaks to the quality, the craftsmanship, and the engineering overall.
Yeah.
Our concept of this double dumbbell roller system was the same concept that Wilhelm Altendorf invented.
Yeah.
We have only changed materials, just iterations. Why change perfection?
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank
you
so
much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it.
Now I know a lot of you want to know how much this costs. Well, this is for commercial applications and not for the hobbyist or even a small scale production. So with that in mind, these are quite expensive. Now, my hope is that they bring this technology, specifically the hand detection technology, to lower models at some point in the future. Let me know in the comments, or you can text me your thoughts on this. I have some really cool tools to show you that I saw at AWFS Fair coming soon. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, this is Mr. Tim with Next Wave. He has a Shark RS 1000 Pro.
Yes.
It is a really advanced router fence system.
So what this is a system that's designed to go into virtually any router table that's out in the market. So it comes with the lift system, the fence, and everything here. The miter's the only attachment that is on it, otherwise it's all included together. What it is to be able to take the router system and make it from what it was a kind of a scary tool to one that's very easy to set up, and instead of thinking, can I do that somewhere else, you say, I actually can do this on the router table. So you have the ability to control everything down to a thousandth of an inch. I can specifically enter information into it, or I can literally nudge it along if you need to.
So it's moving both the bit height as well as the fence distance.
Yes, and it works with any standard router that would go into a router table. You have the ability to save 24 different positions, so if you have a custom setup, you can of course do that. But where it really starts to shine is with the apps. So you can now do things on the router table that would be normally you'd have to do somewhere else, like a dado cutting. All I have to do is everything is visual representation. So I put in a dado size, I do an offset if it's a rabbit or a dado, and then I just say go run the wizard, and it says I'm going to move it, moves it into position. If I was doing the cutout here, it would literally move each one. Either I can use the foot pedal or I can touch it here in order to be able to run the programs. So with the dado, it all gives visual represent. All the systems work like this. You can enter in exactly what you want it to be. You can see about an offset on it, and then how high you want it to go into it. And then you say, go ahead and run this. And then it will set itself up for that. So if I was running a dado, I would run it through. I could either press the OK, or I could use the foot pedal underneath in order to do it. It moves over half a bit at a time, and then you get the exact dado you want without having to change a bit or doing anything like that. Makes it a lot easier without a tear down, going to a table saw, anything like that.
Faster, much faster.
Much faster. You decided you want to do a drawer or something, you can easily do a box joint, or fluting, or half blinds, or a domino, or a floating tenon, tongue and groove. Lock miter, which is also a very difficult to be able to do, can be just put the bit in, give it some basic information, and it's all set up for you. But we can run a quick box joint so you can get the idea. So this will show you the female and the male box that it will, when we're running it, but we'll put in, we got a little under a 1/4 inch bit. Where width of the material's 4 inches. We're not going to put in any glue clearance. We'll make it super tight. And I will go in a little over a 1/2 inch into it. And I say, go ahead and run the female joint. And it says, okay, I'm going to move everything and set it up for you. And each step, all I have to do is tell it to cycle. Or I can touch it up here for each cycling.
If you wanted to, can you skip one?
You could, if you wanted to.
I mean, just for decorative purposes.
You can do custom setups as well. But this is the standard app.
Oh, yeah.
So I just did the female side with this setup. All I have to do is hit the male side and say rerun it. And it would move it into position for the other side. And so that's literally all the apps work that way. But as simple as doing that, and they're designed to do it. In this case, it's a super tight on joint hit. On there we had a bit of damage in there on that one. But that's how tight it typically does to get in there.
Now what all comes with was this, you said the lift and then this?
The table itself you have to
Right.
purchase. So this goes in, you have the total fence, the controller, the touch plate is all part of it. The only accessory here is the miter fence if you need that. So this is $16.99 and the fence is $2.99. So $2,000 for a complete unit.
Right. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Tim.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Bill from Bow Products. Y'all know I'm a fan of Bow Products.
Yep, good to see you.
Finally get to meet you in person. So tell us about the Bow extender fence. I'm a huge fan of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we developed this for safety and control when you're dealing with small table surfaces. So imagine cutting a board on just a 6-inch entrance into the blade. You want that board, you want a good cut, you want good feed control. The extender fence allows you to extend the table surface, in feed and out feed, and it also allows you to add these feather boards so you have good control over the feed and good cuts. So you just clamp this right onto your existing fence, and now look at the difference in control when you feed this board using this system. I've got good in-feed support. I've got the board coming in real smooth and square to the fence, coming all the way through the cut. And then after the cut, this fence feather board works with the fence to actually hold it. With the feed support holds the board. So I've got out feed support as well and a good cut.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it was the outfeed mainly. Like that outfeed support on a small table saw like this, you're constantly dropping things over the side, so I love that. And it fits on small saws like this.
And with these clamps here, we have these milled slots that allow you to position the fence further back if you just want it out feed.
Right.
Or you can position it forward if you want in feed. And these feed supports have a little cutout down here if you wanted to cut a heavier board.
Yeah.
You can do that as
Little
well.
leg on there.
Get a leg.
I also noticed this also fits on multiple saws, not just job site saws, right?
That's right, yeah. Band saws, really any small table surface, but you can put it on a full cabinet saw.
Yep.
You may not want the feed supports, you can just use the fence itself.
Right.
So all the different fences.
Nice. You also have push sticks over there.
Yeah, the push sticks. We have the two sizes. Again, we're featuring the EVA tips. And the reason this is important is it's our belief that you really never want to get plastic around a blade.
Right.
Right? So the EVA, for if it accidentally contacted the blade, would just cut right through. And these tips are replaceable and reversible.
Nice.
So it's all safety. And if you don't like our push stick, you can make your own.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
So you
like
just
that.
take it out and
Yeah.
make your own.
That's really cool.
A couple different versions of that.
Oh, I like this one. That's all right.
So that's our push sticks.
Nice.
Finished
so
cut there.
You also have something new coming out with
Yeah, I want to show you this. So this is our new low profile clamping system, and we're really excited about this. And here's what makes it different. You can take this clamp and mount it into a T-track, or you can fit it into a dog hole. It's all part of the kit. And if you want, you can change out that tip with this and screw it right into a workbench. And perhaps the most exciting thing is it'll work on CNCs.
nice.
So you can change out this longer nut and go down below the spoil board and catch the T-track, and you have low profile clamping from the side. So that's the first aspect of it. The second aspect is, and two clamps, two fences,
Yeah.
is that you have all these interchangeable tips. So here's our EVA tip,
Yep.
and that is interchangeable EVA, which Bone is known for. But that'll catch corners or soft woods, and it's forgiving
Yeah.
under pressure. Or you can have this super low profile. If I want to work this edge, I've got this low profile tip. I've got one for corners right here, so I can get a corner. Or this guy will bite into about anything here.
Oh yeah.
So I got that one. Now, to demonstrate the travel that this rides down the slope, I'll put this board in and I'll show you this. So I'm going to retract it. So with this board, just coming down, you can see the movement and how that's grabbing that board and pushing it down. See the travel?
Yep.
As it goes down. So you literally get about 3/8 of an inch of travel down that slope. That's more than you need.
Yeah.
And we patented these dogs as well. We're going to come out with a set of pack of dogs, we call it, with 4 dogs. And here's why these are special. They expand, the T-bolt fits in there, and they expand as you compress it, and they'll grab very short dog holes, or the deeper ones, or shallow ones. So if I just come in from the top, and I come down, and I can tighten that from the top. I don't have to go under the table.
Right.
I can get that all done from the top. So that's really clever, and we're going to sell those separately as well.
Awesome. No, that was awesome, Mr. Beal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, buddy,
it.
and appreciate you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. This is what's new, and a lot more accessories coming out for everything.
Great.
So.
Thank you. All right, I'm here with Sedge, famous Sedge.
How are you?
Man, I'm awesome. It's so good to see you again.
Yep, hang out.
Talk some Festool, man.
Okay, so these are sanders.
Yeah, I love it. I literally just got this 155 in
Your
last
5?
week.
Yep.
And I
Okay.
have the 125 already.
Okay, so you get the 125.
But I do get a lot of questions on what's the difference in the Festool sanders.
Okay, so really quick, you have a 5-inch platform, okay, ETS EC, this is our brushless motor. You have 5-inch and then 6-inch. These are random orbits. Questions we get are these numbers up top here. These are 2 6-inch sanders, and one says a 3 and one says a 5. That's the diameter of the orbit.
Okay.
Okay, so the way I always like to show this is, and set that anywhere, okay, is I learned this a long time ago when people go, what do you mean the diameter of the orbit? Because this spins and vibrates. So what I like to do is I like to put a dot on there like that with that Sharpie. And when I turn it on, and don't do this at home, but I hold the pad, you'll see right here a circle appear. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay. If I took my my tape measure and put it across there, it would be 3 millimeters in diameter.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when you see that is a 3 millimeter diameter and this is 5, okay, and I turn this on like this and I make the dot right here, you'll see that that will be a lot larger. See that right there? Okay, so in going through all of that, yes, 5 is larger than 3. So that grit is being taken along the circumference of that at a larger whip. It's more aggressive.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people go, well, I want an aggressive sander. Great, that's the one. Then why is there a 3? A telltale sign is the pad that comes with the 3 is our super soft pad, and that's for finishes. So you combine it, it's like we always say a Festool system. The 3 slower orbit, okay, with a super soft pad, and to dial in the variable speed, I won't burn through a finish when I'm sanding in between finishes.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference between those two. Then we have this.
The beast.
The beast. And I always get a kick out of this because when I was a kid, I was taught in metric, 25 millimeters equals 1 inch, right? Roughly.
I'll take your word for it.
Roughly. So when you look at a 150, 25 millimeters into that is a 6-inch pad.
Gotcha.
See, these guys know that because
Yeah.
they're waving. Okay, good. So here's what I like to show people when I talk about a Rotec sander. And we got the dust extraction all hooked up. Okay, when we look at this, see the 5 here? That is when this is in random orbit with the tiny dots, okay? That is a 5 millimeter orbit.
Okay.
When I put it into the big dots, you'll hear it right here. A pin will drop in, and that creates a geared random orbit. So you know, when you are using a random orbit, you put a lot of pressure on the pad, you can stop the pad.
Right.
In Rotex, you're not stopping it.
Nope.
And that's why everybody will call it the beast.
Yeah.
And what's nice about it, and I always like to demonstrate it like this, to talk about dust extraction. I'll take the dust extraction off, and I'll run it in Rotex mode. And I won't put a lot of pressure on this, okay? But you'll see it's very aggressive. But the other part of the equation is when I look at the paper, you'll see how it starts to what? Gum up a little. Okay, that is why dust extraction. So when I can combine that and everything together, and I got great, fantastic dust extraction that I should turn on, okay, all the way up. Yeah, that's really good. So there you go, look at that. Okay? And when I'm finished, no dust, but also less glazing of the paper.
Yep.
So when you combine everything together, that's why. So if somebody asks, what is the one sander that I would choose? I would choose the 6-inch pad. It's 42% more pad than 5-inch. I have random orbit, but then I have a super aggressive one in Rotex. It's basically a belt sander with all those striation patterns.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Whew, that was awesome.
Thank you. We're here with Joe from Rikon.
Matt, how are you? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Some of
Welcome.
my favorite tools. Obviously,
Thank you
I have
so
a
much.
Rikon bandsaw, but this one looks different.
Yeah, so we're excited. In 2025, we've redesigned one of the most popular bandsaws on the market, and we've made multiple changes to it. First things first, we increased, sorry, let me move my hand here. We increased our cutting capacity from 13 inches to 14 inches. So now you have one of the largest resaw capacity 14-inch bandsaws on the market, which we're really excited about. Second thing that we did is we coated the table. So using a bandsaw, you're using a lot of wet wood and stuff, and if that sits on, the cast iron top for, an hour or even less, you'll end up getting rust spots and you spend hours trying to clean it up. But now with the coating on the table, it's going to be rust proof. So now you don't have to worry about putting that wet material sitting on the table. Standard 3/4 inch mitre gauge slot, which we actually have two.
Yeah.
So for any jigs and sleds that you're going to be building, that's a great advantage to have that. We've also improved our fence. So our fence, we still have a drift fence, which had a cam on the inside of the carrier that allowed the fence to pivot, but we redesigned that. So now the cam action is actually inside this carrier. So now if I ever have to compensate for drift, I could easily loosen up this knob right here, shift
nice.
this to the right or left, and make sure that I'm always square to the mitre gauge slot, because I know that's at 90, and then I bring it to the blade and make sure it's square.
Yeah. That was smooth.
Yeah,
I like that.
we improved the our locking knob on the bottom of the fence, and with that we've also have a micro adjustment now
sweet.
too.
Yeah.
So if you're cutting veneers with the right blade,
Yeah.
that's key, because
Yeah.
if you want to get that really, really nice thin, paper thin slice of veneer, it's on there. We improved the paint features of the door. We repositioned the switch. One of the other key things that we did is we updated our stand. So we have a lot of complaints over the years about our mobility kit and the door being in the way when you had our mobility kit on. So what we did now is we created an inset door. We improved the latch, so now when this opens up, it'll open up fully.
Nice.
So you have full access to it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. Still, Horston's 3/4 motor. We added a secondary dust port, so now you have a 4-inch dust port on the back side, and then you have a 2.5 inch that's underneath the table. So with the right dust collections, you're going to be able to pull a lot of that out of it.
You said it's coming out 2025?
2025. So we expect probably February, March of 2025 to have that on there. Awesome. This is our new 10-inch bandsaw. So our 10-inch bandsaw, this is kind of an entry-level secondary bandsaw. If you have a 14-inch bandsaw that you like doing resaw with, but you're looking for a smaller unit, to do just small dimensional projects with. Our 10-inch bandsaw now includes a stand and a standard 3/4 by 3/8 mitre gauge. So that's standard, but that'll all come with it. It's a 70.5-inch blade, which we left standard. That's on all of our 10-inch bandsaws. You get about 4.5 inches of resaw capacity. We do have spring-loaded guides on here, so it's really easy to adjust the pins that are in here to the blade, right? So now I just have to loosen this knob out. This is spring loaded. When it touches, I back it off and lock it in place, and I do the same thing on the other bearing on the side, and you have the same feature with the truss bearing on the back of the blade. But again, quick release, decent fence, cast iron top, value added. It's gonna have a great retail price on it. This will be coming out probably in November of 2024.
Oh, so it's coming
so
out
we're
a couple
excited
months.
about that, a
Nice.
couple of months. Chucks,
This
do you
lathe?
turn? Oh,
She does.
oh, do you turn?
Yeah.
Launched our Z3 4-jaw chuck. So we have two versions. We have the Z3, which is the open back version of the chuck, and then we have the Z4, which is the closed. We have a poster that illustrates, all the different products that we have within the turning category. So The Z3 has the open back, and those are great, designed for smaller mini lathes, right? So they're not as heavy, but they'll take a lot of weight just because of the capacity of the smaller mini lathes. The Z4 has the closed back. That's designed for the heavier lathes that are on the market. And the beauty of it is that, you know, we'll have 2 kits available that'll come with 50mm jaws and a worm screw, and then we'll have a full range of chucks and jaws if you wanted to buy the chuck separate, and jaws available. Everything is in stock now, ready to ship. The Z3 will come with our 15-16 lathe. So every time you buy, you know, the 15-16 VSRK, the Z3 will be included in the box.
Nice.
So anyone who's starting to turn, it, you know, although it's included, at least it starts the conversation because they'll get into bolt turning, and then that'll lead to them doing a number of different things and being able to see where all the, you know, chucks and jaws are. So we're excited about that. Everything is in stock now, ready to ship, and you know, we're looking forward.
My video
to
editor,
that.
say hi, Chris. He always pops himself up. He turns baseball bats and made me 2 baseball bats.
Oh, nice.
And yeah,
Excellent.
he's very talented. Very
Good.
nice. Yeah.
So what's nice about all our lathes, you can get you know, a short extension to do outboard turning, so it increases your turning capacity, and you don't need any special adapter when you're threading a chuck on or putting the faceplate on the other side, because it's the standard thread. You could also get the 24-inch extension, so now you're going from, you know, a 16-inch lathe all the way up to a 40-inch lathe, because now you have the capacity for, like you said, your friend doing the baseball bat, you can put the extension on the end. And you can continue putting extensions on the end, the end, you know, and go as far out as you want. So if you want to do like a big baseball bat, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if you're getting into spindles or anything like that, that works well.
Nice.
You know, we have new benchtop joiners. We have 10-inch benchtop joiner.
I didn't know that.
Cast iron top. We have a new 12-inch benchtop joiner with a cast iron top.
Do we know the retail price on this yet?
So the retail price on the 10-inch is going to be $8.99, and then the 12-inch will be $9.99.
Oh, you have a 12-inch.
Yeah, so we have a 12-inch too that's right on the other side.
Oh, wow. I think that's probably the biggest benchtop joiner yet on the market, right?
Yeah, so what happened, you know, absolutely. So there's a lot of benchtop planers on the market that people like, right?
Yeah.
And then when they want to get into the joiner, you know, they're limited in terms of what's available. So they have to go with either a long bed or one of our big, you know, 12-inch combination machines or a 16-inch.
Right.
But now they're able to put that, you know, we're able to put that into a benchtop style. So now you have a 12-inch. This will retail for like $9.99.
It's not bad for 12-inch.
Available,
12-inch capacity.
Probably
That's
September or October. And we have the helical style cutter head. Yeah. So what's different on ours? There's a true helical, right, which has, you know, the spiral twist, and they're 4-sided blades. On the benchtop models, we went with the segmented. So when this turns around, your next row of cutters are going to offset the next row of cutters. So it gives the impression of the helical without putting all that stress on the motor like a helical would do for a benchtop tool.
And
they work
you get away
great
from
in
those straight
stationary
blades
tools.
too.
Exactly, and you know they're double-sided, so if there's a nick or something gets dull, you know exactly where the knife is. You could, you know, loosen the cutter, rotate it, lock it back in place. It's a lot easier to replace one than a straight knife cutter for sure.
Awesome, man. Exciting stuff from Rikon coming.
Yeah, exactly.
When did you say these are coming?
So these will be here in probably September or October.
Oh, they're right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Joe,
Thank you so much.
man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're here with Justin from Woodpeckers. Thank you for having us in here.
Sure.
I'm a huge fan of Woodpeckers. If they watch the channel, they know I have a ton of this stuff already. Show us some of your most popular stuff here.
Sure. Well,
and what sets you apart?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all of our tools are made just south of Cleveland, Ohio, in our machine shop, about 10 feet from my desk. Incredible accuracy. We stick to that promise on every single one of our tools.
Yeah.
Some of the best selling tools that we've got are our T-squares. We make those in 24-inch, 32-inch, and 12-inch. We also have them in metric. Almost every version of our combination squares, edge rules, hex scales are all available in imperial inch and metric. Woodworking rules, the same story there. Our squares, we offer those in inch and metric. Those are accurate to within 0.085 degrees.
Yeah. More accurate than we'll ever need.
More accurate than you'll ever need.
Yeah.
More accurate than you'll ever need. But it's something you can trust.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites, I love these 642 and 1282 SS,
yes.
the Delve SS, and then the Indexable is probably my favorite, honestly.
Yeah, it's got some very cool features to it that aren't your typical combination square with the holes right here. The index every inch, so you don't have to guess if you're on an inch mark or not. You've got the ledge here that lets you set it on your workpiece so it won't flop over. Scribing lines etched out here. It's a hot rodded version of a very old tool.
Yep, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So you also have more than just hand tools, correct?
Yes, we do. So we've got the spline jig there on the top. The spline jig here for doing different cuts on your mitered corners for boxes. The auto line drill guide here basically turns your cordless drill into a drill press wherever you need it. The benchtop board mill routing plane. This has been very popular for flattening out the top of cutting boards. Lots of different things on here. Some Festool accessories for your track saws. It's basically got a protractor head that lets you hit a nail any angle that you want.
All right, this display you have here is pretty unique too, right?
Yes, it's brand new. It's a prototype, but it's basically how it's going to look in every single one of the Woodcraft stores.
So Woodpeckers has partnered up with Woodcraft to be in the only national chain store where you can find these products, put your hands on them.
That's right.
And actually get to use or see what they're like before you buy them.
Yeah, it's
That's
a huge
pretty cool.
advantage. It's one of your only chances to be able to get your hands on the tools is in a Woodcraft store.
Do you know when this is all coming around about?
This fall.
This fall?
This fall. You should expect them in the stores in September.
And the display will look something similar to this.
Extremely similar to this.
Awesome.
Extremely.
Justin, thank you so much.
Real nice meeting
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Back here with Jeremy. Oh, buddy, good to see you again.
Yeah, man.
They have a awesome new bandsaw. You got to check this out. Show us what you got, man.
So this is the new Harvey A15 intelligent bandsaw. A lot of new features we're really excited about. Let's check them out. The first thing most people will recognize is our big eye fence, but we've scaled it down to the bandsaw size table. You've got your micro adjustments, built-in flip stops, all the things that you already know about the big eye system on the bandsaw. Now, the cool new intelligent part is this new readout display. And what we've got here is digital display of blade tension, RPM, and table tilt. So these are all things that are important, depending on what size blade and material you have. But now there's no guesswork. It's all integrated. Other little small convenience and safety features. We've got a built-in LED light, so there's no more sticking magnetic lights on your machines. We've got built-in motor brakes. No more foot pedal for the e-stop. This is all emergency stops on both sides with an immediate, less than 1 second stop. Different settings internally that talk to you about, your blade width, so you can get the right tension and make sure you're always in this kind of sweet spot, this odometer
Does this
range.
auto tension it, or do you
It's not auto tension, but we have improved the wheels. There's no more locking mechanism on the wheels. They're auto kind of setting. There's bearings in the wheels.
Gotcha.
You'll notice these guide bearings are bigger and beefier than our previous models, and we've got this new micro adjust on the guide bearing system. So this is the same micro adjustment features that you know from our miter gauge and our slider table, just bringing that technology to the bandsaw. So
And unlike some other ones where you have to push a twist knob and
Right.
then push it in to try to get it locked, these just stay in place.
these stay in place. You don't have to worry about them moving at the last second when you're locking it in. So
That's pretty sweet.
And all that is kind of, we get overshadowed, but one of our other awesome features is the new nickel coating on the tabletop. So this is not cast iron. This is a nickel coating on top, so you don't have to worry about moisture at all. You can set a Coke can on here.
Nice. And some of the other brands I've seen have a black coating that seems to scuff.
That's like a Teflon technology.
Yeah.
This is a super thick nickel coating. So even high humidity areas, you don't have to worry about rust overnight just being in a humid environment. This will just wipe right off.
So this, what power is it?
Oh yeah, this is a 3 horsepower, 15-inch max rip capacity.
Is this available for purchase yet?
It'll be available for pre-order or in the fall.
Okay.
So we're just showing it off with the new technology right now. I'll show you some of the internals.
It's so nice to see it on y'all there.
And then down below, you can see we've got the same micro adjustment on the lower guide bearings as well. You can reach them all easily. There's no hassling with that.
Sweet.
So yeah, we're super excited to keep innovating in the space. I think anybody that knows Harvey knows that we continue to to push our products year after year. It was just last year when I was showing you the new Big Eye.
Yep.
And now we've got the baby Big Eye, the mini Big Eye, whatever you want to call it.
Will this fit on other bandsaws?
Yes. So since this is universal and this little Big Eye is on a T-track system, it'll be universal.
Oh, sweet. So I can put this on whatever I got.
Whatever you want. we prefer it on a Harvey, but you know. Yeah.
And speaking of the Big Eye, y'all have an improvement on that?
Yeah, let's go check it out. So what you're seeing here is the Big Eye Intelligent Positioner System. So this is a digital readout, an optical readout that pairs with the Big Eye display and gives you a digital readout that you can input repetitive cut values on.
I love that it's showing the scale up there on the top, and then plus the bigger number on the bottom where you're actually at.
Yeah, and then
what is this 89.4?
So that's your blade angle. It's got a separate blade angle adjustment here.
Yep.
That it talks to. So these communicate with one another. And then if we zoom in here, it's also got a calculator for your bevel cutting angles. So if you're cutting miters and you know you want to be at a 45, but you only know one dimension, you can put this in and it'll calculate what your dimensions.
That's pretty cool, man.
Just trying to bring all the conveniences and stuff you would do maybe on your phone or what into the saw.
Nice. And plus it's on the Big Eye fence, which is really cool too.
It's on the Big Eye.
All right, so what we got here?
All right. So this is the new G800 Pro. This is an upgrade to our G800 model that you may be familiar with already. The cool thing about this machine is it's got a higher CFM. This dust port has the ability to be mounted on the right side or on the top side if you want to go straight up into a ductwork system. You supply this thing with a dedicated air line, and it's got a differential pressure sensor. So once the fine filter is starting to fill up, it pops it with a shot of air, and they all settle down into a separate bin. This is the fine filters bin. This is where all your, super fines would go. And then your main dust bin where all your big stuff goes. These bins are on wheels. You can roll them out to your trash can or dumpster. Just easy to dump, instead of the big trash barrels.
So is there anything up here that you set it and forget it type thing, or?
Yep. So you can set your RPM. We'll give it a turn on here.
It's quiet.
It's quiet. It's super
very quiet.
Super quiet. Whatever tool you're using is going to be louder than this machine. So it's on right now.
Yeah, I can hear. It's like a low hum.
We can ramp it up. Let's ramp it up. Sorry.
What's this one?
So normally you would just keep it at a certain RPM, whatever, max, minimum, whatever your machine is. So now you hear that ramp up. But even that is full. That's your full 800 CFM, and we're sitting here talking.
Pretty good suction too.
You can also see this is the differential pressure system I was talking about. When you get to a point that you're getting clogged up, you just hit this clean button and it'll clean itself.
Awesome. Does it auto detect it as well?
Yeah, right.
Sweet. This released yet?
This is released.
Nice.
This is released. This is on our website right now. For this is for the guy who is kind of taking his workshop to the next level. The G700 is still great for all the hobbyist entry-level workshops, but this is not quite industrial, but the higher level
like pro
workshop
type.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
So
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
Really cool.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man. This might be the best and most exciting table saw fence I've seen in years, and it will likely fit on your saw. Check this out. I'm here with Jeremy Rowe with Harvey Tools. Hey, man. He's going to show us a cool new fence they have that'll fit a lot of table saws, not just theirs.
All right, so this is our Big Eye rip fence system that we're really proud of, and we debuted at the AWFS show this year. It's got a lot of cool features, so we'll come around and show you what we got. So one problem that all woodworkers face with their table saw fence is sometimes there's a little slop on the far end, and you can't always trust it to be true 90. But that's not a problem anymore with the rip fence system. It's got dual locking mechanisms on the front and back rail, so once you lock this in, there's no movement, there's no slop on this far end. You got a smooth glide system. Other features are micro adjustments up to 1,000. We've got a crystal glass sight viewer here, so there's no visual obstructions. And then you'll also see we've got integrated flip stops for positive stops all along the table saw for your repetitive cuts. So if precision and accuracy is important to you on the table saw, this rip fence system is gonna treat you right.
If you have a saw stop, this will bolt right on.
Absolutely. We prefer it on a Harvey saw, but it will fit universally on other saws, absolutely.
Awesome. And this has a unique feature for fellas, right?
Yeah,
It's not sticking
no
along with
more, no more hitting this area.
Yeah, this
so
area.
solid stainless steel handle, milled construction, so everything's 90 as soon as you bolt it up to the rail.
Nice. And you said is this plastic or glass?
No, this is a crystal.
So it's real
like
glass.
like an eyeglass
So
quality
you don't have to
crystal.
worry about that getting scuffed and scratched like regular plastic. And
There's no skewing of the actual measurement.
Oh.
We've also got a high-low fence system. So right now we're in the high fence mode, but this can come off. And now
Smooth
you're in
change, too.
low fence mode for thin stock or specialty cuts. And on the gauge, we've got a high fence
it says high on there.
gauge. And if you change to low mode, all you have to do is slide your rule to low mode. You set that once, and then you never have to mess with it again.
that's pretty cool. Y'all also have a new miter gauge that upgraded to the compass, right?
We upgraded our already world-class miter gauge to the MG36 Pro. Some of the extra features is we added more positive stops for your angles on the underside. We added this micro adjustment vernier scale for even finer tuning precision. You've still got the micro adjustment on the arm. You've got an increased capacity on the width. And you've got more contact points along the miter gauge itself. So really the takeaway here is that we improved our already great miter gauge and we listened to customer feedback and added all these features to improve it.
Yeah, and this is also so you can put a sacrificial fence on now.
That's right, yeah, that's one last feature. We added this second kind of elbow in the arm so that you can add a little more width if you want to for a sacrificial fence.
Awesome. If you don't have one of these, you got to check them out. They're awesome. All right, man. Thanks so much, man.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm here with Ralph here with the Micro Jig.
Good to see you, Matt.
Thank you. You're going to show us some new products you got.
Absolutely. One of the products we have is the Fit Finder. This is a finalist for the Innovation Awards here at the show.
Yeah.
It's been out for about a year, and the Fit Finder is designed to find the halfway point of any piece of stock up to 3 inches thick. And actually, we can do it more than that. We've got some video on that, but up to 3 inches. So by loosening the two knobs on the back, when you move P2 up and down, that's where you measure your stock. Note that P3 right here is moving by half the amount. So I can take a piece of stock, drop P2 on top, lock the two knobs, and this point here is indicating half of that. So at the table saw, I can bring the blade up until it touches the bottom of this and I can cut a half lap. Or here at the router table, I can bring a bit up to it. We can touch off.
Right.
I can lay it sideways and set a bandsaw for a resaw cut. Anywhere I want to transfer the measurement physically. I don't know how thick this stock is.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. I found the halfway point already.
Awesome.
Now this led us directly to the lock miter bit here. The lock miter bit, the joint is a very popular joint. It's very useful for long columns, posts, wrapping a column in a basement, newel posts, all that sort of thing, scribes on cabinets. But this bit has a reputation, a bad reputation, for being very difficult to set up, as you well know. And there's a reason for that. The lock miter bit has to be exactly set to the exact midpoint of your stock. But the midpoint of the bit is basically the center between the tongue and groove.
Yeah.
And there's no good way to measure it on here.
Until now.
Exactly. When we had the carbide cut to the final size, we also milled in this platform, which we call our center finding platform. That is the exact halfway point of the bit.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to figure out the halfway point of our stock here. Now, you can see that this is not the correct setup for the bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Fit Finder. I'm going to bring the router bit up until it touches the bottom of that P3 leg. And I like to bring it up until it touches. It's just barely touching there. And just then lower the bit, just a tiny amount. Now I'm done. And you can see that it's a perfect fit.
Nice.
Now that the bit is set, don't mess with the height. The next thing is to set the fence. And that's pretty easy. If this is my router table fence, and this is my part, I want the top of the part, the face of the fence, and this part of the 45 on the bit to all meet at the same point. So I'm going to take a steel rule, put it on top of my stock against the face of my fence, and then I'm going to adjust the fence until it's just touching at that point. That's the right setting for the fence. Now when I go to make my cut, I'm going to start cutting on, we always start on the horizontal, it's just what we do, right? So when I get done cutting this first piece, this is the first piece I've cut, no other matching piece yet. This should be a perfectly sharp knife edge. If there's a flat there, the fence is too far forward and we need to move it back a little bit. We're not cutting deep enough. When I start cutting, I see the bit starting to remove the corner of the material, the fence is too far back, I need to bring it forward. All I have to do is adjust the fence because we know this is right. So don't mess with it. So maximum of 1 or 2 test cuts and we're done. I can do it pretty much every single time right off the bat. And this little piece over here, our lamp, the tapered column in the middle is done with the lock miters, and the opening makes it easier to put your electrics through.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if you were doing like a 6 foot tall floor lamp, you can do it with the lock miter bit. The whole thing's hollow so you can run your wiring through.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. I enjoyed it.
I'm here with Philip.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's with Nerex, some of the best chisels on the market, as well as other products. Can you tell us about what you got here?
Yeah, so we've been producing chisels for more than 100 years. And 3 years ago, on our 100th anniversary, we introduced these Richter chisels, which are nowadays our best-selling chisels here in the US. They are cryogenically treated blades. They come imperial sized. We have a box set, for example, which is new this year, packaged in this luxury paper box. So the chisels are made of special chrome vanadium steel, which is suitable for cryogenics. We grind this blade to very thin sides, which are just 0.3 to 0.5 millimeters thick. The blades are polished. We put edge handles, which are also polished with the special wax, stainless steel ferrules, leather washers for absorbing shocks. We named this chisel Richter after our founder. Mr. Richter was the guy who founded the factory in 1919.
Awesome.
So these are our top-of-the-line chisels. Also this year, we made more of these chisels with the same steel quality, same cryogenic treatment. So this is a new product for this year. We put stainless steel hoops at the end, so the Morris chisels are suitable for heavy malleting. So this is a new product for this year as well.
Are these marking knives new as well?
So we've been doing marking knives since 2012. We introduced a new version about 3 years ago. This year it's our 105th anniversary, so we wanted to do something special also for this year. So we put the Richter logo on the marking knives and we made the scales from a colored maple wood. It's a set of
really
3.
Nice.
They come in 3 different thicknesses. As you can see, 0.75 millimeters to 3 millimeters thick. We named them Richter, so it's a set of 3 packaged in a box.
Awesome. What are these different? Are these made out of different metals, or when we got here?
Yeah, so we've been doing these chisels since really 1920s, 1930s. These chisels are made from a Czech-made chrome manganese steel, which is different from chrome vanadium that everyone else is doing. These chisels is what we've had, and they are being sold either by Lee Valley or here Highland Woodworking. They've been selling these chisels since 2002, 2003. So they were really popular. These are the best value chisels. They were awarded by Fine Woodworking magazine back in 2008, actually, for their best value. And beach handles, hoops at the end. So this is like the basic chisel set from us that you will see everywhere in the US. And 12 years ago, we improved these chisels to this premium version. The blades are made from the same material. We just grind them differently so that they have thin sides, which are suitable for dovetailing. We put hornbeam handles on these blades, so you don't have the bag hoop, and the handles have these nicely round backs, which are very nice, when you put the chisel with your palm over hand. And we put brass ferrules on the chisel, so it's like upgraded version of the regular
They look
chisels.
really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Andy with KREG. Tell us about what you got here, man. This is a really solid looking bench.
So this is our giveaway bench that we created. This is done in our wood shop at KREG. With our team actually did it. So a couple of different options we can do on it. You can actually build the frame itself, and then you can do whatever you want as far as a built-in into it. So a couple of the things we have, the bottom drawer here
Oh, that's big. Nice.
So that is a big drawer, 3/4 inch base, because you can put 2 track horses in the bottom.
Really?
And still shut the door. That's
Nice.
what it's designed for.
Yeah.
So that's how we do the bottom drawer. And then how we did this one, we did the 3 small drawers on the side, so you get your small products into it. You know, have some good storage space. And then you just 2 drawers on the side. Excuse my bag hidden in there. But yeah, it just gives you a lot of storage options.
You could make this a router table. Put your router up here.
You can do whatever you want. We actually have plans for the router table
That goes
to
in
build
this?
it out too.
Nice.
And it has a dust collector in the middle.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
actually, we use plexiglass so they can see it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's a skinny drawer you can pull out that'll have all your bits in it.
That's pretty cool.
So we have those plans on our website for free.
So this, you buy the frame, you can get this top, and then you build out the rest.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And we're working on a plan for this one to put on our website so it'll
they can
have
build
everything.
it exactly like this.
Right now we have a few of them on there for different types of builds. And then this one here is also another type that we have. So you can do it very simple or really get into it,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
I like that. Very, very, very solid too.
Yeah.
So you also have some clamping options back here with your portable bench.
So one of our new clamps that we came out last year is the KREG VersaGrip. So a lot of people are used to just your regular quick clamps. So we wanted to change them up a little bit, make them a little bit more user-friendly. Because the biggest complaint is when you're using them, you always have the bar sticking in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a problem. Or when you're on the front of the cabinet sticking and you hit your knees on it or something. I've never liked that. So our guys went out there and they designed it so you can move this side wherever you want, and then you can move the back side wherever you want, and it locks directly in wherever you stop it.
Oh, that's nice.
So now, even if you want to use this through the dog holes, you can take that off, put it back on, and you have no bar sticking above the table, and you can clamp that down.
That's pretty cool.
And you're ready to go.
Nice. And this is also available, this portable workbench?
Yep, this workbench been available. We've had it out for about 10 years. We discontinued it about 1.5 years ago, and it's coming back this fall.
Oh, nice.
So we were able to bring it back. It's one of those that, unfortunately, during the COVID years, we had problems with, but with getting it and stuff like that, but we are bringing it back this fall. So this one will be released this fall. This is our new face frame clamp. So you can actually use that when you're putting cabinets together. You can put a face frame clamp on the bottom and the top to pull your frames together, and you can push the frame together from the front. And then you also have your drill guide, so you can put your drill through and guide through. It's
pretty cool.
So comes in a 2-pack when we release it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Of course, you still have your traditional stuff.
Yep. Still have all of our traditional items. A lot of our, like you can see our bench top that we have. That's a really nice one. So we make the bench tops in 4 sizes with dog holes or without. They're just 3/4 inch dog holes, so they work with all of our products. So you can actually use them with the VersaGrips. You can use them with our bench clamps. Some of the other new ones the last couple of years, laser stud finder.
Yeah.
So it's magnetic and then it has a laser. I love that thing.
That's pretty cool.
New cabinet hardware pro. So it's all aluminum construction, heavy duty. It'll be up to 12-inch poles now. We've always done just the 5.
Yeah.
So now we go to 12. So, yep. And then our regular cutting product's been out for a number of years. That still do a great job.
That's my first track saw.
Yeah.
I've been able to break down sheet goods. I use that rip cut. I actually just bought one. I'm working on another video for something else, so I bought another one.
Yeah.
I couldn't find mine. I still got it. I just can't find it. I think I put it in the shed. But I bought a brand new one just to have a new one. And this corner radius jig is probably my favorite radius jig for routers, just because it has that handle and you keep your fingers away from that.
And that Grip Max material holds so
nice.
tight.
Yeah, it's really good.
You don't have to worry about clamping it.
That's right.
That's what I love about it.
I like it.
Yep. I've never used my palm router much until we got that.
Yeah, I like that.
Now I use it all the time.
Yeah. Andy, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate you. All right, we're here with Justin from JessEm.
Yep.
Tools.
JessEm.
Yep. Y'all just started bringing out hand tools, right?
Yes.
Tell us about what you got here.
Yeah, so we have the measuring tools. You took a look at the rulers and stuff already previously.
Yep.
We do now have our squares available, which has this beautiful snap feeling. Right?
Yeah.
That snap feeling is amazing. So it has a nice balance point. You have the grip that we've already talked about, is nice and patented, and then you can just take your marking, put your pencil in there, and just scribe a nice spot.
Yeah.
So we have it in 6, 8, and 12. So
those are really nice.
All beautiful aspects. And we have our height gauges and stuff, which I think you've looked at. These are our new saddle squares as well. So I mean, if you want to do your different dovetails, all the different angles and stuff comes in a beautiful set of 5.
Also with that grip.
Also with the grip, yeah. So we're trying to incorporate that into many new different measuring tools and stuff that we actually
really
have.
cool.
So.
Power tools are busy, so we're going to take a look at some of your other stuff here.
Yeah, so our new stainless steel doweling jig. So we actually did a big investment in our production or whatever. So we have a nice CNC laser, brake press, all that kind of new technology. So we're getting into the stainless steel. We know that something is, when they buy it, we want it to last forever.
All right.
So you buy it once, it's going to be exactly what you want, and you're going to be able to use it forever. So a big push for this year for JessEm is the stainless steel with different components and stuff. So we have our tool setting gauge, which I think you've already seen before, and then our new doweling jig. The nice thing about our doweling jig is now it has the 45-degree angle availability.
Oh, nice.
So it allows you to do the different joints and stuff that you want to have. So.
Yeah. Now, I haven't checked this out yet, but you have a miter gauge. My friend of mine has this one, loves it.
Yeah, so our miter gauge is probably one of our best-selling products for the miter gauge. It has the beautiful micro adjuster, which is new. There was a couple videos online of people saying, oh, JessEm needs a micro adjuster. Yeah. We heard what you guys had to say. We brought in a micro adjuster, right?
Nice.
So the bar is custom rolled from us in Sheffield, England. So it's a nice custom bar. Everything is made in-house in Canada. There's, I think, 25 different Swiss parts on there.
Yeah.
Very, very high quality. It's going to last forever, and it's extremely accurate.
Yeah,
now, the one nice thing about ours is it actually has these 4 screws on both sides, so it actually keeps the adjustability to the fence, to the table saw fence, as well as the table. So
nice.
You give full accuracy as you're measuring around.
Awesome. It's a nice piece of equipment. All right, so y'all do have a router table and lift system.
So this is our high-end Ultimate Excel package. This is sort of the best in the industry. We have a top-of-the-line fence is extremely accurate across the entire 32 inches. But the biggest selling thing that we got going on now is our router motor. So underneath here, we have a brand new dust box, and this motor, when you turn it on, it actually pulls fresh air from outside the dust box. So whenever dust is falling in, it's not getting clogged up into your motor. It's actually being pulled right up into the dust, and then there's actually just fresh air just running it through. So
nice.
The motor never overheats and just keeps it nice and cool the whole time.
What size motor is that?
That's a 3¼ horsepower. So it's equivalent to the old quarter cable 7518, which they discontinued, and we sort of took the opportunity and ran with it. So
nice.
It's extremely quiet as well. So
it is very quiet. You also have a different option?
Yeah, so this is our low-end option. This is called the Weekend Warrior package. It comes with a beautiful stand. Everything is made in Canada, so it's not imports. We make every aspect here in Canada. This is a new product that we're launching. It's just sort of a master plate. So if you have a plunge-based router or a fixed-based router, this plate here underneath has all the different hole patterns for every single motor that the majority of people in the industry would have. So you just sort of figure out the number here. It'll correlate with the hole pattern below. We provide all the screws. It's just a quick, simple way that you can use at your wood shop.
Awesome. Jess, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Have a great day.
You too. All right, we're here with Steven.
Nice to meet you.
Mirka. Tell us about what you got here, man.
So we have our renowned Darrow sander. This sander, you can get it in 5-inch version, 6-inch version, pneumatic, arc electric. One of the main things about this sander is we can change the RPM easily. It has 2 ways to turn it on. And the main reason for that is because when you're sanding with it, and you drop it, the sander stops, preventing that flies out all over the place, right? So that's one of the main things. It's a brushless motor. It has a 2+1 years warranty. So that means when you get it, you get 2 years automatically. But when you register, you get the extra years.
Oh, okay.
That is pretty cool because when you're doing that, if anything goes wrong with the sander, they'll send you a label and they'll ship it out. They fix it and you ship it back within a couple weeks.
Nice.
Right now, we are introducing the new sandpaper called Ligno. Ligno is targeted for the wood market mainly. And one of the biggest innovation is the bow ties along the grain right here. The bow ties are redirecting the dust through the holes, preventing swirl marks and pigtails. So we have been very successful so far with the product because of the consistency it leaves on the grain on the product. So I'm just going to sand a little bit for you guys to see.
Good dust collection too.
Great dust collection. We're going to apply a little bit of stain on it.
So the 2.5 on top, is that the stroke?
That's the stroke. You can get this sanded in 2.5 millimeter for fine sand, and you can get the 5 millimeter as well if you're looking to remove material out faster. So the main thing right here, as you can see, is the consistency of the product.
Yep.
You can see there is no spots. It is smooth, it flows great. And once it dries up, it glows the color of the grain.
Yeah. No swirl mark, nothing like that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's
That's
great.
good.
We have been really, really successful with the product.
You have not just orbital sanders,
We have 3x5s, we have 3x4, we have 5-inch, 6-inch, we even have the 7-inch sander, electric and pneumatic for longest application, pneumatic narrow belt sanders, and also we have cordless polish. So when you are in the automotive and you're sanding doors and you're polishing doors, this is a great help because how small it is, and you can put it everywhere, right? Delta sanders for getting to narrower places.
So on the orbital sanders, what makes this, for the price point, what makes this better than, say, what you would pick up at your local box store?
For sure. So two main things. First, when you're sanding, there is no vibration in your hand. So you can sand with this sander for hours and nothing's gonna happen to your hands. You won't feel any pain. Secondly, the warranty and the quality of the product. This is an European product. It's based in Finland. The company's been in the market for 80 years so far, and they only make high quality products, and it's a whole system.
Nice.
So they make sanders, they make sandpapers, they make polishers, they make belt sanders. So everything is their own system. So we're using everything together. You're gonna find better results.
Dust collector too.
Dust collection too. They do cards as well for the automotive. They had the tower right here where basically you put the sander on right here so that everything is organized, everything looks professional. You have everything in one place. I think that's it that I can remember.
Appreciate you.
No worries, man.
All right, I'm here with Anders. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now, please pronounce the name properly.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. In Sweden we call it Sjöbergs, but here in US we call it Sjöbergs.
Sjöbergs.
So Sjöbergs will be the best way, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sjöbergs. All right. So I've looked at these online and in the stores, woodcraft stores, so many times. They're very impressive. Tell us what they do.
Thank you for that. Yes, here you can see we have the portable ones. So this is in beechwood, portable one, called Smart Workstation Pro. And that's a high runner. You can use it in many different ways. You can use it at home or in your cabin or whatever. So it's good to have the portability. And the SmartWise is the same concept but a little bit smaller version. And it's in laminate. So this is massive beechwood and this is in laminate.
Oh, okay. And you can clamp these to your existing
yes,
table or something?
Yeah, you can do that. You can clamping in different ways. So, or you can fasten them permanent if you want that as well. So,
so if you purchase this, what all comes with it? Does it come with the dogs?
Yes. It's like you see it here. So, and then you can add different accessories. You can add accessories to the product, all our product, and even on those small ones. So,
I think a lot of people are more interested in the bigger units. What is this one here?
This is a Scandi model, and then we have the Elite over here. The Elite is our high runner here in US. We sell those in, for example, on Black Friday promotion. So this is our heaviest bench with a stable.
It is rock solid, isn't it?
Rock solid, and comes with 1-inch dog holes, so you can use different hold fast and dog holes, and then you can choose if you want the cabinet or not.
So this is optional, the cabinet part?
Yeah, the cabinet is optional. So the benches are coming with or without. It's up to you to choose.
And on these, they come with 2 vices on both of these?
Yes.
On each, one on the front, one on the
and
side?
And you can change from left-handed to right-handed side if you want. So,
and does this one come with this extension wing, or is this also an add-on?
This is an extension or optional. So this is a clamping platform with a 3/4.
Okay, yeah, you can see the difference.
So we are a company, a 100-year-old company producing, and we have worked with woodcraft for a long time. So
yeah,
I appreciate to be here.
Yeah, I love it too. I think it's awesome. One thing that we just talked about before we turned the camera on is you guys shut your factory down for 4 weeks every summer for a vacation.
Yeah, we do that. So we
give the employees a break.
Yeah. We are the world leading company of producing workbenches. So
they're beautiful.
We export to many different countries around the world.
Oh, okay, nice. So if you want to check them out, Woodcraft is local store or woodcraft.com.
Yeah, please do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
I'm here with Zeb Last name Whiteside, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So if you don't know, Whiteside bits are some of my favorite router bits made. And when I saw the booth, I said, I got to stop by.
Sure, glad
So
you did.
Tell us about the business, actually. It's a family-owned business?
It's family-owned business. I'm third generation in the company. Whiteside was started by my grandfather, William Whiteside. He started in his basement, so the company's 54 years old. My granddad still comes in every day working on the machines.
That's fantastic.
And my father's also involved with the company. He's been in it since the time he was a teenager, working in my granddad's basement as well. So we started off as a machine shop and pretty much just grew because of the demand for cutting tools with the furniture industry that was near us.
Awesome. So what makes Whiteside different than, say, a budget option that you can pick up anywhere?
Sure. Well, your budget options, they're made to be able to supply your big box stores a lot of times. So they're just focused on quantity over quality in a lot of cases. And being a family company, we take pride that our name is on the tools. And a lot of our tools are ran in smaller batches where we can focus on the tolerances on the tool, on having the right cutting angles, because it's critical to us that when you put your router bit in a collet, that it's not only safe for you to use, but that you don't have any burning, any tear out. We want you to have the best results possible. So we use top-notch grinding equipment, grinding wheels. Our carbide on the tools is micrograin carbide so that you get the sharpest corner possible. We go through a lot of extra steps to make sure that you get a sharp tool.
Nice. You have some sets here in front of us. Can you explain what these are, some of these?
Sure. So a lot of these items on our table here are new products for 2024. The selection of cases here are all bits that are sets that we offer for CNC work.
Oh, nice.
We have anything from a 3-piece CNC set to one of my personal favorites, a 705 starter set. It includes 2 V-grooves, a ball nose spiral, and a couple other spirals. 90% of your beginner projects are going to use the bits in this set. As we move back to the table, you get to larger sets, to like a 709 set. It's a general purpose that includes pretty much your assortment of popular woodworking tools. Or if you want to go all in, we've got the 714 set that we call the Works. It's got everything from a surfacing bit to spirals, ball nose, V-grooves, and even O-flute spirals for plastics and aluminums.
Oh, cool.
So,
tell us about these. I have one of these. It is...
We've been asked for many years to come out with an expanded series on our classic ultimate flush trim spirals. Our initial bit we came out with probably about 10 years ago. It had an 1.1/8 cut length, and what's special about it is that it has a 7/8 cut diameter. So when you look at the tool, the 7/8 cut diameter is important because compared to most tools on the market that are a 1/4 inch diameter or 1/2 inch diameter, the larger diameter allows you to get a better sweep as the tool's spinning. That sweep as it comes around and enters the grain of the wood allows you to get a better finish and therefore reduces the chance of fraying or ripping as you're cutting. That's why a lot of people, when you see reviews online, say that these bits don't require sanding afterwards.
Yeah.
That 7/8 diameter just reduces the chance of issues taking place.
Yep. I use it in the router table, and it's awesome.
So we have expanded the series. We now have an 1 3/8 cut length, an 1 5/8 cut length, and all the way up to 2 1/8 cut length for those large pieces of wood that you need that extra length to be able to trim.
Yeah. Well, I've been using them for a long time. I always recommend a 4-piece set you guys sell. It's got a round over, a chamfer, and 2 flush trim bits. I think it's one of the better starter sets for beginners if they're looking to get in a really nice set of bits. I've been using them. I buy them. I think they're amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Appreciate you. I'm here with Miss Debbie.
Hi, Matt.
Her grandfather founded W.L. Fuller. It's a really neat backstory. Can you tell us about it?
So back in the 30s, my grandfather was an amateur boat builder, and he was had a problem driving screws. So he found that if he could make a tool to pre-drill for the screw, he took to a grinding wheel and he made a countersink. My grandfather invented the 4-fluted countersink back in the 30s. And he had about 15 years of peddling this with him and his brother, my great uncle, in local northeastern places. And then my father came in 1945. And my father started taking a lot of calls from customers and they needed particular tools to do particular jobs to save them time. So he came up with so many different lines of products. We now make over 450 products.
Wow.
Everything is ground by hand. We have our guys, they're American craftsmen. They've been working with us for 40, 50 years, and we have the next generation coming in. So
oh, wow. So everything, y'all are doing this all in USA?
All in Rhode Island, under one roof.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you said you had a various line of products now, so countersink kits, all sorts of things. Where do they go to find all of this stuff?
It's WLFuller.com.
Are you all in Woodcraft yet? Are you in the stores?
So this is an interesting story. So when I was a little girl at the dinner table, Woodcraft was a big name that we talked about. Fuller was a big name that we talked about. And because we've never had any sales reps or did really any advertising, all of our business has grown through word of mouth. We have over 14,000 nationwide distributors.
Oh, wow.
And we never had competition.
Yeah.
We had a fire.
Oh.
We burned to the ground. And we ended up getting some competition.
Yeah.
And they actually ate up our market share. Woodcraft was one of the stores they went into.
Yeah.
So we're back to fight them, and we're gonna win.
Yeah. Well.
So this is the countersink that my grandfather invented. It has set screws on either side that are designed to sit into the flutes of the drill. This particular countersink has an adapter on it. This is a quick change 1/4-inch shank adapter. Most of the adapters out there, when you buy a drill bit with the adapter on it, it's one integral piece. Ours, if you buy this adapter, you only purchase it once, and then the set screw sits into this notch. So if this drill dulls and you need to take it out, or if you drop it, then you can just buy this drill piece. So it's saving money.
Gotcha.
This is a tapered drill bit. Tapered drill bits were originally designed by my dad for wood screws. But we have found through the years, through our customers' input, that if they get a screw that is straight and they measure the root diameter of the screw, then they would take the outside diameter of this taper point and they will get a better grab throughout the whole length of the threads. All the threads will grab.
Oh. So you're telling me your grandfather invented the countersink bit, and your dad invented the tapered bit.
Yes, my dad tapered the bits to get them to match the wood screws.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Like, that's two big inventions that woodworkers use every day.
Yep. So we make, unlike any other company, we make this size countersink. This is a C2, up to this size countersink, and everything in between. Nobody else does that. We also make plug cutters. Let me talk about our plug cutters a little bit. Now, there's other companies that make plug cutters, but they don't make them like Fuller makes them. Our tolerances are so tight and so held that this tool and the plug cutter for it match exactly. You drill your hole with your countersink and your drill, and then you drill it, make a plug. That plug you can take out, either pop it out with a screwdriver or cut your wood in half, saw it in half to free the plugs, and it fits right in there. You don't need glue. It's chamfered at the end. We make 1/4-inch plug cutters up to 1.5-inch plug cutters. No one else does that. So this counterbore, if you were to drill a counterbored hole for a flat bolt, then you would come through with the 1.5-inch plug cutter and an 1.5-inch counterbore, and they match exactly.
Awesome. And all of this is made in the USA.
All of this is made in Rhode Island. Our tools are fully guaranteed. If anything happened, listen, I was on the phone for 35 years. Very rarely did I ever get a call on anything. Our quality is top notch. Everything is meticulously inspected before it leaves. We don't have problems. We all take pride. Most of the people working there are Fullers.
Yeah, that's great.
And if they're not
Love it.
Fullers, we consider them Fullers.
They're family, right?
Let me talk about our brad points,
Okay.
because this is very unique to anybody else. This drill is designed to cut hardwood. It's for, originally designed for maples and oaks and all that type of hardwood. Now, sometimes because these spurs are so sharp, they can become very aggressive and they can grab in and make a mess. So what we do, if anybody ever calls for that, and they have, is we take the outer spur, now this is a 1/4-inch, we take the outer spur and round it off. So this drill works better in a pine or a softwood, where it's less aggressive, and you're still getting a clean hole every single time you pull it in. You drill it and bring it out, and you got a clean hole, you're done. There's no sanding, there's no anything. Sometimes people are drilling through end grain.
Yeah.
So end grain, the drill bit will tend to follow the grain. With this long point, this shears through the grain so it goes straight. It's also good for using on an angle because you want this center point to hit before the spur does, so it holds you on your angle.
Yeah.
Then we have a short brad, I just took my glasses off, a short brad and spur if you're concerned about the exit hole. Some people are not. They're usually attaching pieces of material, but if they're looking for if they're concerned with the exit hole, they use a short brad and short spurs, and you get a nice clean, still hole in the back. So another thing that we got into, which I'd like to explain too, is our epay tooling. So some time ago, we found a company that called us. Somebody told them, call Fuller, they're up in Rhode Island. They were down in the Keys, Tavernia, Florida. And they were farming wood out of South America, and they named it epay or palope. It's a very hard, dense material. I said, you need to send us in a piece because we've never heard of it before. They're telling us you don't have to stain it, it lasts forever, you can't burn it. We actually tried to light it on fire, it wouldn't burn.
That's funny.
But it's very heavy and it's very dense, and people love it. We did the Miami Boardwalk, we did the Atlantic City Boardwalk, and we have lots of decks all over the country being done with this hardwood. Nobody else makes a tool like this. This tool, we took that material in, and we tried our countersinks. The countersink cuts, but it doesn't last. That stuff's dense, hard. Then we tried a high-speed countersink. Again, it cuts and it lasts a little bit longer, but not as long. So we tried our stainless steel tooling. Now, all of our tools are cold roll. Plug cutters, countersinks, counterbores, they're all cold roll, but we have a secret heat treating that nobody knows about. These are stainless steel tools, and they have a heat treating that nobody knows about. And I'm being told from these people that are farming South American woods up here, we're getting 5,000 holes with one tool without sharpening.
That's pretty cool.
And they can't find tools that will give you 2 holes.
Yeah. They're very, very durable.
Very, very durable. And if that dulls out, anytime anything dulls out or burns, pull it out, stop using it, send it to us. We have a full resharpening. We like to tell people that if you buy our products once, you never have to buy them again. Listen, I'm going to a the Mystic Wooden Boat Show on Saturday. And I've been there for years. They know us. We still find new ones, but they know us. And I'll have guys that'll see Fuller and they'll come running over. It's like so heartwarming, right? So they come up and they say, can you get us a box? Can you get me a box? I was like, where's your box? They've been using the same tools for 40 years.
Really?
The tools are still there, but they need to replace the box.
That's funny. That's a testament.
Yeah.
It's a testament to your quality.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Debbie. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, so I'm here with Steve with RZ Mask, and you all have a brand new mask that's launching today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We call it the M3.
The M3. So I have the M2 right now.
Okay.
What's different?
Well, what's different about this one here is we actually took the main part of the mask and we actually designed 3 different straps to wear it. We have a ear loop strap, neck strap, and a 2 strap. So this way you can actually have one mask wear it 3 different ways. And what's really, really cool, what we like about this too, is that no more replacing your valves. This is the filter replacement. It's got a 4-snap little rivet system, so you can take these in and out of your mask in about 15 seconds. And also, another really cool attribute of it, this thing here, fit tested, typically you gotta get 100 to pass. This reached scores up to 800 on parts of the fit test. It comes with the mask, 3 straps, the filter replacement, and a pretty cool little belt bag.
Can you just tell me if we don't have to replace these valve things anymore?
Nope, those days are long gone. So this, you buy the filter, and when you replace it, you just attach it with the rivets, and away you go.
Fast. And this here is talking about fit factor you was talking about just a minute ago?
Yep, this is the fit factor on it, and basically, it's just, it exceeds fit testing about, 3 times on average. And then what's really cool is we have over 12 international U.S. patents on this mask.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I'll be checking this out. Where can we get this at? RZmask.com?
RZmask.com.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I'm here with Matt.
Matt?
My name's Matt.
Absolutely.
1 T, 2 T's.
Yeah.
This is Red House Tools, basic accessories for your miter saw, right?
Yeah, so a universal support platform for any miter saw, any chop saw, any make, any model. So whether you have a Bosch and you set it up on a stand, something like you see here, or you set it up on a tabletop. So it can be a bench setup as well. The nice thing is it's a completely modular system, so you can continue to add on as big as you want. What you see here is the Pro unit. So you have 4 feet of support, It comes in 2-foot sections. This is a universal back fence system, so 3 tracks. You can add any accessories or jigs to it. Your stop block here, so that's adjustable. You have stop blocks, it accepts any jigs, any accessories. The nicest thing about it, and the biggest thing, is being completely portable system. It all comes together with just a T-lock system underneath. So this one nut here is what holds it all together. And then within seconds, you can take off the whole system.
Nice.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It fits conveniently in a bag, so it's transportable. When you get to a job site, and within minutes, it goes right into the easy base system. This is where the magic happens. Connects to your saw. You get that lined up. Once it's lined up, you don't have to mess with it again. This dovetail section goes right into it. So within seconds, you get to your job site. You line it up, and you're locked in. You put your T-lock back in, and you have a support system just like that.
Are these common T-tracks, common size T-tracks?
Common size T-tracks accepts most jigs, aftermarket jigs, whether you have a Rockler or KREG or something in between. Anything, if you want your own stop blocks or flip down stop blocks as well.
Yeah.
Your back fence comes in 24, 36, and 48. You can even splice them together.
Goes on either side too?
Yep, so on both sides.
Is this the only color it comes in?
That's a great question. Today, yes, it comes in the Red House Tools Red. Our flagship product is the Easy Wings. We are messing with some ideas to start offering some different colors, but that's kind of rolling out.
I know that the DeWalt guys don't want that red on their stuff.
Yeah, right. So we had even, this is kind of a teaser, so a Woodcraft green. Yeah. So your back fence, if you want to match that, or if you have say a Grizzly saw and you want, your tracks and your DeWalts. So we have yellows, but it's kind of down the line.
Yeah.
But
so are these available in Woodcraft yet?
So yes, it's on woodcraft.com. So we are available for drop ship right now. We are looking for relationships to get into brick and mortar stores and find out, how our in-store setup goes.
Yeah.
Another cool accessory to add to it is after about 5 or 6 feet, you get a little bit of deflection. So we came out with our carbon fiber drop-down legs.
Yeah, it keeps the weight down.
So it keeps the weight down. So fully adjustable. It's nice about anywhere along the length of the saw. It just clips in with this clip here. And you can drop them down. So it comes in sets of 2. So you get one for each side. That gives you a nice triangle effect. So you get full support. And you can go out as far as you want. Awesome. You can see that guy there.
Great, man.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. We're here with Dave with Walrus Oil.
Yeah.
And I love your origin story. You started in a garage.
Yeah.
I started in a garage, so I'm there. So I love it.
Nice.
Can you tell us about what you're doing here, man?
Yeah, so I started this company 7 years ago in my garage, Springfield, Missouri. Cutting board oil was our very first product. Super popular still. It's still our most popular product. We've since grown to make a lot more stuff. Furniture butter is probably our second most popular product. It's like a paste wax finish, totally natural, 100% plant-based. We try to do something different in the sense that we truly care about the environment, so we want to make sure our products are food safe, no VOCs, non-toxic. We donate tons of money to the planet, so we plant trees. I think by the end of the year, we'll plant our 50,000th tree or something like that.
That's really cool.
So we try to be like the Patagonia finishes,
Yeah,
I guess.
That. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But yeah.
So you have all different size options too
Yes.
for your finishes?
We sell it literally, people buy barrels of some of our ingredients.
Really?
So all the way from little 2-ounce bottles to gallon jugs and buckets and barrels, yeah.
And so some of this product here has already got your finish on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm a fan of ambrosia now.
Nice. So my friend in Pennsylvania, Alexander Brothers, he made these. These are super cool. Lizzie from House of Timber, you familiar with her? The sign maker. She made this sign here. I can hold it up. Pretty cool. Okay. That was finished with our furniture finish product. Got some climbing holds. We just picked those up from one of our friends.
What was that?
These are climbing holds, so you can
yeah.
hang it on the wall,
Practice?
Practice, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's got some furniture finish on there.
So if they want to find your product, where do they currently go?
Walrusoil.com is always the best place. We're in maybe 4,000 stores across the country.
Oh, nice.
Growing, but yeah.
Good deal.
Sweet.
Thank you, man.
Well, thanks,
Appreciate
Matt.
it.
It's great to meet you,
Yeah,
man.
nice to meet you.
I appreciate it.
I'm here with Brandon from Shark CNC.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all got a brand new machine, right?
Yes, sir. This is our HD 544. It's our first machine that has an open table concept. So it has rapids up to 400 inches per minute. We also have the closed loop adapter motors here. So on previous machines, if you hit a clamp or a limit, it would lose your zero, you'd lose your project. Now it'll stop, adjust, and allow you to finish your project. You also have a revamped Y-axis, new lead screws, new couplers, a lot stronger, a lot more metal. We have a steel backdrop there behind the two aluminum extrusions. This machine retails for $6,000, but that comes with the water-cooled spindle, the 3-horse. Yep, so it can handle half-inch collets.
That's
so the customer is only responsible for supplying the table and then the design software, which we always recommend VCarve Pro.
That's a good price, actually.
Yeah, so this machine runs twice as fast, can definitely do a lot more with the motors, and it is available today. As of today, we are shipping in September though.
Okay. What about the control unit over here?
Yeah, so the new pendant functions very similar to the old one, but there's a lot of really nice new features in here. One, it has internal storage. So before on our other machines, you had to have your files saved on a flash drive, and that flash drive plugged in at all times. This one, you can actually, if you're doing production files, save them in here. It also has the 3D preview when the image generates here. So similar to, you know, a VCarve or something where you can see what it's going to do and give that 3D preview, this will do that as well. And then you can run the file from there. So you can see a 3D eagle here is what it's planning to do. So it'll give you that preview. You can see the G code and everything as well. And similar to our other pendant, it also gives you the speed override, so you can override your feed rate and your RPM on your spindle.
Nice. Is this an add-on option?
Nope, this is included, as well as all the drag chains, the stand. Like I said, only the table and the software are not included.
And this is a water-cooled spindle, you said?
That is a liquid-cooled spindle, yep. There's a submersible pump and bucket under the table here, running that right now.
We're here with my friend Aaron from Miles Craft. We've been working together for a little while. I love this product. You know I do. This is a Miles Craft. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so I mean, really, you picked it up maybe after a month after it was launched, and it's been going crazy ever since. It's one of our top products and something we're pretty proud of. $99 price point, works with any 7 1/4 inch circular saw. Yeah, it's just a nice, solid, addition to the line, and glad that you saw the value in it.
As soon as I saw it, I bought it. I was like, oh man. So if you don't know, this basically turns any circular saw into a track saw. And you can buy extra tracks as well, so you can, if you want to rip a whole 8-foot sheet of plywood, you can do that.
For sure.
It works really well, really well. What other products you got here?
So we've got a new universal base plate. So with the more compact routers coming to market, nobody has the same hole pattern. We had to redo our current design. This one works with a standard like Porter cable style bushing. So the universal nature there. And then that also was backwards compatible to our sign making kits, our circle guide kits,
nice.
all of that as well. So that's a new addition to the line that's going to be available through Woodcraft here shortly.
And that's your sign making kit?
This is some new letter sets, some new templates, just a little updated design with those. It's $50 for the complete set. That includes 140 templates, some of the most popular letters, things along those lines.
Yeah.
We call that the Happy Camper.
Yeah, kind of the camping font style.
Exactly. Just a fun font. It's new to the marketplace.
That's pretty cool. All right, you got some new door hardware?
Yes, these are door hardware installation jigs. We've got the Lockmate Plus here. This is a nice design for both door hardware, lock sets, deadbolts, as well as the latch and strike plate. So this comes with a secondary indicator, but then that helps you to locate your latch and strike plate.
So deadbolt
so you team that up with the hinge jig right here. So the hinge mate. This it does multiple different styles of hinges, standard, up to 4.5 inches as far as that goes. So, and then there's also templates that you can drop in when you want to do the strike plate on the other side.
Awesome.
So when you team those together for about $50, $60, you can do a complete door.
That's pretty cool. All right, so I've been getting messages about these. A friend of mine said I had to check these out, and I've been seeing them on Instagram. So tell me about these.
Yeah, so these are our tri-grips. They've been out for a little while, but they're just a nice solid project block. used for elevating the workpiece. If you're doing some routing or sanding on your work table, you don't want to damage that. These are a nice buffer as far as that goes. Also help with like if you're cutting circles or you're making some cuts on your workbench, you don't have to worry about cutting into that as well. Yeah. There's also some painter's points included with those. So if you're doing some staining, things along those lines, you want minimal surface interference. That's what those are used for.
And how many you get in a pack?
We sell them in bulk of 12, but then also we sell them in a 4-pack for $10. I think they're out there at Menards and some others as well.
I use these a lot in like for routing on the Tracksaw. That's where I keep raise the sheet good up off the workbench. I use these style workbench cookie style things. They work really well for that.
Yep, for sure.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Aaron.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right, we're here with Christoph from Fish. Hey, man. Thank you for having us in. So I have Fish bits. I think they're some of the best ever made. Tell us about them.
Yeah. The company Fish is located in Austria, and we manufacture all our tools in our factory there. We produce about 2.5 million drill bits a year.
Oh, wow.
And one of our main categories are Forstner bits. We're still worldwide the only manufacturer who's still forging. You can see there, Forstner bits in the good old traditional way, and that's very important for the lifetime of the drill bit.
Keeps them sharper longer?
Exactly, yeah.
So one of the benefits is they drill a really nice clean hole, right?
That's it, yeah. I can show it to you
yes,
if
please.
you want to. Ready?
Yes, sir.
See the chips coming out? Smooth and very precise.
And that's the results I get every time when I use mine. I have this exact set right here.
Big chips. So we are cutting.
Yeah. Those are really great. So I see these. I've never seen you guys. I've never seen these. Are these new or is this something?
This is pretty new.
Yeah.
It was launched recently, made of aluminum, CNC grinded, ball bearing inside. So very premium quality drill guide.
Yeah. So like a portable drill press. What's the price point on this?
Retail is about $279.
Okay. And then there's a different one over there?
This one is resharpening system for Forstner bits, and you can resharpen every brand with this little system. You fix it on your drill press table. It comes with the grinding wheel, and we tell you exactly which angle you have to use to regrind the cutters in the best way.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm here with David from Gearhart Industries. He makes branding irons. You want to tell us what you make here?
Yeah, man. Heated wood marking products. We call it a precision engineered pyrography. So we've got a variety of torch heated and electric products. The torch heated ones are heated up with a torch or any other kind of heat source. It gets up to around 800 degrees. And the electric ones you just plug in. And we've got basic electric ones that are just straight up heated, totally analog. And then we have a digital one that you set the temperature on and it'll hold that all day.
Okay.
So you can, this one's a little better for doing leather and production work.
This electric one is?
Yeah, the computer control one is, yeah.
Okay. So a lot of my audience is woodworkers in their garage or shop making smaller items up to tables, things like that. Which model do you think works best for them?
Well, my personal favorite is a torch heated brass iron. I like the simplicity of it, and I prefer playing with fire every once in a while. It's just kind of nice. And it's also convenient if you're just marking one or two things.
Yeah.
If you're doing production runs, like if you got to make 20 or 300 or something, then you need to go up to electric. And we've actually got a drill press mounted
sweet
irons over there, and you can just straight knock stuff out.
Yeah.
You know? And I know a lot of guys are thinking like, well, should I get a laser? Should I get a branding iron? We feel like there's room for both.
Right.
You know, we've got a QR code branded on our tables up here. To laser several hundred of those would take forever.
Right.
But it's a few seconds per to use a branding iron. So there's advantages to it. And they had the mark that a branding iron makes has a lot of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a branding iron's a good choice for anybody looking to mark their work.
Yeah. So if they wanted one of these, where do they go to get it?
GearhartIndustry.com. It's industry with a Y.
Okay.
And you can just search for Gearhart branding iron and we'll pop up, or ask anybody you know and they'll recommend us. So
Awesome, Dave. Thank you, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Appreciate you. This is Mr. Alex from Invis by Lamello with a very cool joinery system I've never seen before. Give us a demonstration.
Thanks for stopping by. Yes, we have an invisible detachable joiner, which means that we have a screw that you can turn with a screwdriver that looks a little bit different. And if you look at that one, see how it's turning. So you open and close it the same way you would do it with a screwdriver. This is what the screw looks like, and it's inserted into the wood so that on the other side you just have a receptacle thread. If you put these two things together, they're hard, joined together, like for a stair rail. You can release it again. Same thing here. I have two screws that I use to put a panel onto cabinet work. I could do a stair rail, I could do a leg to a table.
You said we was talking about the dowel kit. You can do this with dowel joinery, basically, or
it has to be dowel accurate. So these two pieces have to just match and come together so that they can be fastened and released again. And we have a complete kit that has everything that you need as a starter kit here at the show for $5.94. Usually at the retail is about $50 more. It comes with a jig, comes with the drill, comes with the mini mag, which fastens and loosens these, and it comes with 20 joiners in the kit, all in a sustainer kit.
Awesome. Where can we find these at?
Best way is to go to our website. That's www.swissinvis.com. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very cool.
Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
Dan's with Oneida Air Systems. Going to talk to us about small shop dust collection for small shops. What would you suggest for somebody that's in a very small shop?
We have a wide variety of different types of dust collection systems. We have 110 volt and 220 volt systems. Mini Gorilla would be a 110 volt customer. We have it available on our website, and it's a 110 volt or 220 volt. It's made for one single tool at a time. So if you're running a table saw, if you're running a joiner or a planer, and you want to hop from tool to tool without running duct work, keep your costs down, that's going to be a perfect solution. It's going to handle any 4-inch diameter port, any 5-inch diameter port, one at a time as you go along. It's kind of limited to that size, but that would be a perfect for a home woodworker who's looking to just start out with good American-made dust collection with great HEPA filtration. That would be where I would start them.
Do you have another next level up from that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. That would be our supercell system. So this will probably be our most popular unit for your home woodworker. It's a 220 volt system, and it's a high pressure unit. And what that gets you is going to be able to do a small 1-inch diameter, handheld orbital sander, or maybe a router table at 2.5 inches, as well as your larger 4 and 5-inch diameter ports. So this system is one at a time, and you're going to be able to do anything in your shop. It basically replaces any wet dry vacuum that might have. It's got the HEPA grade filter in it, and it's going to be able to take care of any tool one at a time, as long as it's not a dual ported system. Sometimes you get the dual ports on a bandsaw sometimes.
Right.
We say just block off that bottom port because it's pretty useless anyway. Yeah. You hook it right up to that table port and you're good to go. It's going to clean it. And that's the biggest thing for home woodworkers. Try and collect at the source.
Yeah.
That's the way to get the dust away, out of your face, out of the air, and it's collected right away. That's probably the most important thing too.
One thing I've read about Oneida is your dust collection, or the way you're pulling air, is different from other dust collectors, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So what it is that high pressure. And it's basically speed, velocity versus volume, cubic feet per minute.
Right.
And there's a direct correlation. In order to get the actual static pressure needed for the smaller size ports, your wet dry vac size, 2.5 and smaller, you're going to need a lot of air speed, a lot of velocity. That's what that provides you. So it's got a whole bunch, it's got 3 separate motors. We've got a turbo version that has 4 in it.
Yeah.
And that's just going to suck the air super quickly, which allows them to collect from that smaller size diameter. But it also has enough volume to where it's going to handle your larger 4 and 5-inch diameter ports, and it's still going to clear it right out without a problem. So that's what sets us apart, especially with this product. For the home woodworker, you've got all the wide variety port sizes. It's going to handle every single one at a time, as long as you're just doing one at a time, 1-inch to 5-inch in diameter.
Nice. So what do you have a solution for somebody that wants to set up a whole shop dust collection?
We have everything from...
What's that one?
3-horse.
That one caught my eye.
So Matt, this is our V3000 system. This is the Smart Boost version. Our V3000 is for the customer who wants to duct their whole shop. They got a basement shop, shed shop, or a larger garage shop, and they want to connect blast gates and be able to potentially use more than one at a time with whole hard ducting throughout the shop. This system is going to be able to do the same exact thing that Supercell can do, except for you can do 2 or 3 at a time if you wanted to, where that one's just 1 at a time. So that's kind of the big difference with these V3000 systems. The smart version is going to get you those smaller ports. The regular V3000 is just going to do 4-inch and larger, up to 3 at a time.
Gotcha. Mr. Daniel, I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely, Matt. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
We're here with Kiwi Visions with Mr. Gary. He's going to show us the Morgan Square. Never seen one of these.
Hi, Matt. The Morgan Square is designed for framing. And as you know, framing relies on 16 inches on center for all the studs, so you have to remember to deduct the 3/4 of an inch to keep your studs on center. What we've done, tape measure hooks on real quick and easy to the Morgan Square. Simply pull your layout out to the 16 on center. This is 1.5 inches, so you mark both sides, and every time your stud's going to be right on this on the 16 on center.
That's pretty cool. And that tape measure locks in there on that end?
That
Snaps
tape
on
measure,
there,
yes, sir, with the regular belt clip that comes with almost every tape measure. It'll fit almost any tape measure, so your favorite tape measure is likely to work with the Morgan Square. We do have them in plastic and aluminum. There's a couple of features I'd like to show you on the aluminum ones. As you can see here, it is all one solid piece of aluminum. There's no welds or anything like that to crack and break and that kind of thing. All the lettering is laser etched, so this tool is going to be super durable. It's going to last for a long, long time. The plastic ones you can get either on Amazon, woodcraft.com, or on our website, themorgansquare.com. All the aluminum ones are available on themorgansquare.com. The 8-inch goes for $39.99. We have the 12-inch version, which goes for $49.99. And we have a 16 by 24-inch version that goes for $64.99. And we have a variety of colors. Awesome. We have blue, we have natural aluminum, we have a black one, we have orange, we have green, and we even have pink.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Gary. Appreciate
you. Thank you.
I'm here with Sean. Yeah, nice to meet you. Hey, man. With Shaper of Origin, I get a lot of questions about this. A lot. All right, well, let's see if we can answer a few. Okay. What we got? All right, so Origin is a handheld CNC router. The basic idea is that you drive it yourself, and then the spindle has a 1/2 inch of corrective mechanism. So while you're driving, the spindle is always correcting your mistakes. So let me show you how that works. Just gonna quickly lay down a pin shape here. And so this would just be a straight line that I've created right on the tool. And we'll finish that. And so let's show you how this corrective mechanism works. So when I go to cut this line, if you watch here where the spindle is, if I go up and down, it's actually gonna be changing the direction of the spindle. And you can see this has changed here. And so it's gonna try to stick to that line no matter what I do. And if I go off the line, it'll retract and get out of the way. So if you go off the path you're trying to cut, it'll just remove itself. So let's talk about how that works when you're actually cutting. All you need to do is set your depth. So let's just do a 1/4 inch pass here. We have an automatic Z-touch mechanism. So we can just hit Z-touch and automatic, and that's gonna lower the spindle down, and when it hits the surface, that's 0. So we don't have to measure it. Every time we change the bit, we just run a Z-touch. And then now, as we're turning it on, my only job is to move Origin pretty steadily, and it'll do everything else for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And I'm cutting straight line. And if I go up and down, it's still gonna do a straight line. Okay? So here, you can see basically, even though I was moving up and down, it's gonna cut a straight line. So now, apply that to anything, whether you're cutting shapes, circles, anything. Now, let's talk about one other thing is I showed you can design stuff right on the tool, but you can also import stuff from the internet. So we have USB import and we have the internet. And so you can upload your files to a website, they'll show up automatically on the tool. If you don't have Wi-Fi in your shop, you can export onto a USB stick, plug it right into the tool, and then use it kind of remote. So you don't have to have the internet, but if you do, you have the added benefit of like syncing your files. So we have a super simple design app called Studio. It works on your phone, your computer, your laptop, and it's really good at building things quickly. So you can do all the basic shapes, you can make them bigger, smaller. We can even duplicate this shape. And now let's say I just wanted the inside of that. I can grab these. I can just grab the inside or I could just grab the outsides. And now I can get my parts created on the phone. Yeah. That file instantly gets synced to the internet. I don't have to download it or anything. And it appears right on there. I can put it down and go straight to cutting. Yeah. And so one of the cool things about Origin is it's really flexible, right? Whereas it was typical CNC, you have to prepare the files, you get them set up, then you go to your machine, you run the file. Not on Origin, you're part of the creation process. So here, where we have an online cut, I'm just gonna change that to an outside cut, and it changes instantly. So you can make kind of changes while you're in it. And then the key feature of Origin is the offset feature, which allows you to basically grow and shrink the shapes. So like when you're doing joinery or you're trying to fit an inlay, you can just make that a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller till you get the perfect part. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's like the basics. And then let's talk about this tape. So the way Origin works is there's a camera up in the top of the thing, and it kind of looks out in this area. And the basic idea is that the tape gives Origin an understanding of where it lives in the world. So basically it comes on these rolls, you pull it out, you stick it down, you basically do a process called scanning, where you just kind of walk it around, and if you see how we're just collecting all those dominoes and they're turning blue. And now once we save that, we've created a unique workspace. So the way when we print these, each one of these dominoes is a little different. So if you tape up multiple sheets, Origin will know that they're different. So this will be different than that, and it'll remember the history forever. Oh. So it's pretty sick. I can bring this over to something I did a year ago, and it'll know exactly what I've cut, where the files are placed, everything. So if you keep the tape on there, it just has like a memory of it. And so now that we've got it scanned, we can see exactly what we're working with, and we have two options. One is let's just create a slot on tool that's like 4 inches by 0.37. So now we have a slot, and I can just position it visually. So if I had, let's say I had a crack running on this table, I could like put a bow tie in it, and I could visually align it. So I don't have to think numbers. I can just like think like aesthetically what is pleasing to my eye here. So like we could place it down, and we can go straight to cutting it. So it's pretty fast for this type of like quick stuff that you design on the tool. And then we have a grid system, which allows you to lower the bit and probe the edges of the material to perfectly align it. And then now you can do things like, I want a bow tie in there, I want these kind of hinges that would fit like in the perfect edge here. If anyone's ever cut a sauce hinge, you know, you gotta get the jig perfect or else everything doesn't come together. But we have the ability to reference this edge, and when it comes in, it'll be perfect. So when you close it up, you have no gap. Oh, sweet. Yeah. So it's a really great for hardware installs and that kind of thing. Okay, cool. So that's like the basics of how the tape works, how the system works, and the corrective mechanism. Let's go over here and I'll show you a couple other things.
You can do joinery with these too, right?
Yeah, so with the workstation, which is an accessory we sell with Origin, you can kind of get a good look at it here. This is kind of a like a very universal fixture for doing in-grain joinery. So what we're gonna show here is we're gonna create a tenon, and basically we're gonna use Origin to cut the shapes vertically on the end of the material. So this is a bar that just helps Origin support itself when you're using it, but also it's a Z indexer. So it comes up here and it goes into here. And now when you take your stock, because we're gonna do this multiple times, we're gonna reference this side and then we're gonna reference the top. That means I can do this repeatedly over and over. Tighten this down. Okay, so now we have our material secured and we're gonna start cutting. So this file is already set up. Once you set your files up, it lives forever, like I said. So now, as soon as I hover this shape here, we're gonna have two elements. We're gonna have one, which is just gonna clear out the waste, and then we have a second element, which is the final pass. So in this case, I'm actually gonna do a 3/4 inch depth of cut. So I'll just type that in. We'll go ahead and do another Z touch to make sure we're right at the top of the surface. And then I'm gonna pocket that area out first, just free form cutting. So I'm gonna just kind of go in circles, and then we'll go back and do the final cut. Okay. So with in-grain, you can cut quite a bit deeper than you can kind of doing it normally. So normally I'm doing about 1/4 inch passes, but with in-grain, we can go quite a bit more. So I'll show you how this works. Okay, so there's our first cut, and that's a rough outline of the shape we want. And now we're gonna come back and we're gonna take the final pass and we're gonna just do that edge. And I'm just gonna slowly move it around the edge and let the tool do the work for me. And then boom, we have a perfect tenon. Okay.
Pretty fast too.
Yeah, super fast. And so now we can check our fit. So we've cut this one previously. And so it's a pretty tight fit, and it will go, which is nice. We have nice flush sides here. And then if it was too tight, we could put it back in and we can adjust the offsets of the shape. So we just erase this so you can see it a little bit better. If I change the offset here, we can shrink and grow that shape. So in this case, I'd want to do a negative number, and that would make it a little bigger. And you can go all the way down to like a thousandth of an inch offset.
nice.
And so you can dial that fit in exactly like you want it. If you want it line to line, if you want a glue joint area, like whatever application you do it, you can just adjust until you get the LP you like.
Awesome. So what's the price point on the Shaper Origin itself?
Yes, so $28.99, so almost $3,000 for Origin. Right now, we do $150 off when you buy the workstation and the plate together with Origin. So there's some discounts and bundling if you buy the objects together. But yeah, I highly suggest workstation. It's such a game changer for being able to fixture and like cut things quickly.
Yeah.
It also comes with this shelf accessory. And so this basically rides in these rails here and allow you to quickly raise and lower to any size thickness material. And you can quickly raise it up, lock it, and then you can go quick to cut it. And you don't have to worry about any of the problems that come along.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about trace. This is a new product from Shaper Tools. The idea that if you can draw something, how do you get that file into something like a laser cutter or Origin or a CNC? And for some things, it's quite difficult, right? If you don't know vector design, how to get that. So trace is our solution to that. Basically, all you do is you draw the thing you need. So let's say we needed something like a file for this. We could trace that out with a pencil, bring it out, and we just put trace on top. Now, trace does a couple things. One is we know the dimensions of this. So we're gonna have perfect to scale like output of this. Yeah. And then two, because of these kind of markers around, we can actually flatten the image perfectly. So you don't have to take the picture perfectly up high, you can take it at an angle and we can distort it properly. And so it makes it much easier to capture these types of things. So let's just take this one as an example. I'm just gonna show it this web app. And so when I'm not seeing let's go over here. So when I see the frame, it'll actually show me ready to capture. We go ahead and click that button, and then boom, we get our file. Now you'll notice like this little spot here where we drew this, it picked up this little tiny thing. So when you're drawing, you do have to be a little careful about how you do it, but we can clean that up and we can basically get that file instantly. Now the other thing that the Trace app does is pretty cool is for CNC, for certain shapes, you want the center line of that element. So like when you're cutting text, you don't want to just cut it fully, you just want to cut the outline. And so we have it right in the Trace app where you can basically get CNC output for like the graded bits, right down the middle. And that's an option you can pick when you're deciding what you want. So that's the basics of Trace. Now let's walk through like a little more example here. So here's a flange we have, and let's say we wanted to be able to cut this in something. So I'm going to lay it down, and I'm just going to hold it down while I trace it. And I'm going to do the outside and the inside. So we'll just trace the edges here. Okay. And then the same thing, we'll just hit all these little holes. So we have those as well. And then I'm just going to trace that. Okay, cool. So now we have our kind of hole layouts. And then we'll go back to this and give it access to the camera. And then point it at here. And you'll see I'm not even straight on line. Boom. So there's all our shapes. Now I caught some stuff up here too, so we're just gonna go ahead and remove that real quick. Boom, now we got our shape. In this case, I had a couple spots where I went out, so I'm gonna smooth it out a little bit. And that'll help like reduce any of these errors. So you can see now I have a much better thing here. And then I can save that as an SVG straight to your USB stick or whatever. Bring it over your other digital fabrication devices, cut that piece out. You know, here's an example of one we traced and cut, which is a gasket for this material. So, you know, that one's laser cut on a laser, but any digital fabrication device will take that file from vinyl cutter, laser cutter, CNC, and obviously Origin takes these files in as well. So that's the basic of the trace thing. It's $99.
buy it once, no subscription required, and you can use it forever.
Yeah, I see a lot of people with lasers using that a lot. CNC too.
Yeah, with the lasers, it's really nice because, you know, the scale factor is really important in certain projects. And, you know, there's other software and ways to get the output, but none as easy as this.
Right. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Andy with Mag Switch. Andy?
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Tell us what you got.
The core technology Mag Switch puts to use for woodworking and welding is a magnet that turns on and off. No batteries or anything. Flip the switch, turns on, and now it's off. There's an incredible amount you can do with that. We've got power feeder mounts. This is a 6-magnet array, so that's strong enough to mount a power feeder, all the way down to feather boards for the table saw, drill press fences, welding setup tools, drill press vise mount. We've got tools for fabrication, pulling pieces off of plasma tables.
That's pretty cool.
We've got, if you're lifting up 1,000 pieces a day, don't want to wear out your wrist, this turns on and off with a magnet, or with an electric switch. All kinds of cool stuff.
That's pretty cool. I have the bandsaw fence, and I'll say it is fantastic. I love that thing.
Excellent.
What's the bigger one? Is it for a bigger bandsaw?
Actually for a drill press. So the V
drill
in the
press.
middle is so you can drill in real close and not hit the fence with the chuck.
Yeah.
The stop block can work even if you have a piece of plywood down underneath it, because it just attaches with the magnet to the fence body.
And then is that a vertical featherboard over there?
Vertical featherboard mounts to the center of a Biesmeyer style fence, so you can have downward force on dado cut, so it's consistent depth, or thin plywood so it doesn't chatter.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, we're here with Austin with ISO Tunes.
Hey, welcome.
Nice to meet you. What we got here?
We have hearing protection that's Bluetooth enabled. So we want to make hearing protection that people actually want to wear.
Yeah.
You know, people are used to big, bulky earmuffs or disposable earplugs, right? And those aren't any fun. We have Bluetooth enabled, so you can pair your phone, you can listen to music, you can take phone calls. It's a lot more meaningful that way, right? These are products that you can wear, you know, even when you're not in the shop. We also have some cool technologies involved, like aware technology is what we call it. It allows you to hear your surroundings. You don't have to remove your earplugs to have a conversation with someone. That's not protecting your hearing, right? You're getting all that noise straight into your ear. The technology allows you to have a conversation, but when a machine kicks on, it makes everything quieter.
Oh, cool.
And then when it's safe, it returns that level. So it's a smart technology.
Do all of these have that, or just certain lines?
Certain lines. Some people want it, some people don't.
Right.
So generally, for most of our most popular products, we have a version with and without.
Gotcha.
That way, you know, if you don't want to pay for that extra feature, you can just get the basic.
What's that called? What feature is it?
Aware technology.
Aware. So,
Yeah,
if
most
it says
of the,
link aware, that's it?
That's exactly right, yeah. Most of the products that have aware technology have this green color. We have all different shapes and sizes. It really just comes down to your personal preference. Some people do like the more traditional earmuffs.
Yeah, that's me. I like these in the shop.
Yeah. Some people don't want, they complain that, you know,
Right.
if they don't want to wear something like that for hours and hours, it's sweaty. So we have, this is our best seller. This is the Pro 2.0 actually. It's a wired design. It's an ear hook that goes around your neck and around your ear, so it holds it securely in place. Like I said, our best seller, a variant of that, this has a neckband design, so it similarly goes around your neck, but it's a little bit more rigid. It's a little bit more structured. You can wear it around a collar. The nice thing about these, they have magnetic earbuds that are pretty cool. When you snap them together, they automatically pause and play.
Oh, cool.
So it's a nice added bonus feature. Of course, you know, with the rise of Apple AirPods and similar products nowadays, we have true wireless models are getting more and more popular. There are no wires to get caught up in, you know, saws or any other dangerous equipment. You just put them in your ears and connect to.
Is this also a charging case?
It is a charging case. So these last for 7 hours, or the charging case will charge them about 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
So, you know, you can get through a workday, you can get through a week. When you get up to our bigger versions, it's even longer. I believe it's like a 13-hour battery life. So really best in class. 13-hour all-day battery life. That'll get you through a couple days, really, especially if you put them back in the case at lunchtime, you know, to charge. So,
I know some businesses require you to have OSHA approved. Are all these OSHA approved?
all of these are OSHA and ANSI approved. That's what this NRR rating means. It means we've gone through the standard testing procedure. This means it'll block 24 decibels of noise, 25 decibels of noise. So a lot of people do unfortunately use like an Apple AirPods in the shop. And you might be protecting some of your hearing, but you're probably not. There's no guarantee, right? We've gone through the steps. You can rest assured that your hearing is being protected.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. All right, I'm here with Thomas from Wall Control. Thomas.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Tell us about what you got here.
So this whole system is our new Workbench setup we got. It runs for about $2,000, and it comes assembled aside from this top half up here. This all condenses, and we throw it in there on a pallet.
Oh, cool. So this is a whole system you can buy.
Yep. It doesn't come with any accessories, but we do have.
These are accessories?
Yep. And they attach with our patented system. Requires 2 motions. You go up, down, and then it locks in place.
Locks in place, so it's not going to pull off if you try to take something off of it.
If it's a little loose, we have these stabilizing tabs on the side, and you can tighten those, and it'll secure it better to the panel face.
So what's kind of the common accessories most people go for?
This is pretty common. This is like our hammer holder.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't have a hammer with us, but screwdriver holder. And these U-hooks, they're pretty universal.
Right.
So
bigger tools and things.
Yep. And there's no wrong way to store something.
Right.
If you find a new way, bravo. We probably didn't think of that when we made it. So it's really up to you what you do with your system. And I mean, we have people use it for tools, jewelry, Legos, pretty much
packing station.
Yep, packing station.
I see large hooks down there too.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's our heavy duty hook down there at the bottom, just for oversized things.
Awesome, man. Well, Thomas, thank you.
Of course.
Pretty cool. I'm here with Mark with Oneida Air Systems.
Yes.
So y'all have a brand new product.
Yes, we do.
All right, so I think this is perfect for the garage or hobby woodworker because it'll save your filters, right? Tell me about it.
So this is our Low Pro dust separator. And so anytime you're using a dust collector or a shop vacuum, it can only move and pull as much air as can go through the filter. And so as your filter plugs up, which you kind of want it to do so the dust doesn't go back out in your air, you start losing airflow. And so the way to improve that is to separate your dust out before it gets into your shop vacuum or your dust collector. So we just came out with this, the Low Pro, and the benefit of it versus our traditional Cylcones is just really small.
Mm-hmm.
And so it fits really well under a workbench, in a small shop, under your miter saw workstation, and keeps it out of the way.
And you told me earlier that this will also fit on a regular Lowe's 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, you can, Lowe's bucket, it's the diameter is the same, and I'll just swap that for you here. There you go. Fits right on there.
It's got a little gasket in there, I saw.
Yeah. So for the separators to work appropriately, the bucket has to be sealed.
Yeah.
That's really critical. So the gasket, and you want to make sure it's latched really well, nice and tight. You don't want gaps because that'll cause the dust to go to your shop vac instead of into the bucket.
Nice. So where can they find these at should they want to buy one?
Yeah, so the Low Pro is now in Lowe's stores. So you can go to Lowe's.com or check your local Lowe's store, see if they carry it, and pick one up.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, I'm here with Daniel and Diana who own Pone CNC. They have some really cool products.
We're here. We've got ATCs, spindles, accessories, dust boots, all for your CNC machine. So if you're interested in improving your experience, getting away from a palm router, those loud things, go to a spindle, which is super quiet. You can carve your wood. You can run for hours and hours and hours without having any problems. I run my CNC machine with a spindle, and I never use ear protection because it's nice and quiet. I can run, do other things, and then come back to the machine and the job's done.
Awesome.
Especially with our ATC system.
So how did y'all start this company?
So I started it out as a hobby business with my wife's support.
That's always important.
Out of our house in 2019.
Yep.
So just before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic started, it just kind of took off
really
from there. We started buying more 3D printers, putting more parts, more dust boots. Usually it was a result of what people requested that they wanted, and that's what we would provide for them. So a lot of customization, and that was how our dust boots were born.
Can y'all show us some of your products?
Sure. The main product that got us on the market is basically the V2. This is our dust boot. The thing that made us popular on it is it's an under the gantry dust boot. So rather than your hose going right in the front of the machine, the hose comes right behind the machine and your spindle comes down and cuts everything there. The great thing here is it's also for makers who want to film, because then you just pop the front off, still carve, you get 80% efficiency, and you get a beautiful carving cut.
That's pretty cool.
This evolved, we're actually missing a piece here, but this evolved into the V3, and then we moved on, we designed several pieces from there, but this is the V9, also a under the gantry dust boot for a 4-inch dust collection hose.
That's awesome.
So the same exact features, but for larger equipment. Then of course we've got, this is one for the traditional woodworker who wants to have the hose in the front. Basically each carve is unique. So depending on which carve you're doing, whether it's a 3D carve or a just a flat 2D sign, you may need different types of boots. So that's why we've come up with different sizes to perfect and customize for each woodworker that has brought us these challenges.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You also offer some other stuff other than dust boots, right?
We do. Our main premier product we just came out with on Black Friday is the ATC. Basically, with for those machines that can't support it, you push one button and the tool drops out, and you put a new one in, and now you've got a bit change.
Yeah.
After that, if you've got a machine that supports it, like the Onefinity Elite or the CNC for Newbies machine, you can actually wire in the ATC where the controller will say, hey, go pick up tool number 2, run here, then go pick up tool number 3 and do that. And it's all automatic.
Yeah.
And you just literally hit start, walk away, 2-3 tool changes later, you come back to a finished product.
That's pretty cool. Is there anything else you want to tell us about?
Well, much of our products line is printed on 3D printers, which we've got 2 of the 3D printers back there. Any of our 3D printed products, we do sell the files.
Oh, nice.
So we used to give them away, and everybody kept saying you need to sell these.
Yeah.
So we sell them for like a couple bucks, depending on how much engineering went into it. But you could buy the file and print it yourself.
That's really cool.
So things like clamps, low profile clamps. So you got your stock here, you got your wood or your clamp on there. The boots can hover over it. It's very low profile, so it doesn't interfere with any dust collection you've got. If your bit runs into the clamp and destroys the clamp, you just print another one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank y'all, Dana. Mr. Dana.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm here with Fabs.
Hey,
You're
Matt,
with
nice
Cormark International, correct?
Yes, correct.
Tell me what you do.
So we are a lumber importer from Asheville, North Carolina, and we bring woods in from around the world, and we distribute through partners like Woodcraft. We carry approximately about 60 different hardwoods. Everything we do is environmentally certified. One of the things that sets us apart from other importers is that we really put a focus on that. It is important to us that we not only look at the sustainability now, but also look towards the future and what we're able to do. As part of our program, we try to make sure that not only do we follow all the protocols that are necessary for reforestation, but we also have a program in place where we go in with independent auditors once a year and we audit the sawmills ourselves. And then those reports are put together and we keep them archived to make sure that in the event that one day we need to access them to verify a certain shipment, we have them available.
That's pretty neat. Yep. So what's the most common species y'all get here?
So what we're offering here at the show are species that are a little bit more unusual. You know, we've got things like Pomel's figured sapele.
Beautiful.
We also carry some figured walnut. And then we take opportunities to introduce new species. This species is called Gombe. It's out of West Africa. This is an example of a piece that's got a little bit of an oil finish on it. When we bring these species in, obviously they're experimental in terms of they're not very common. They often referred to as lesser known species. The importance of it is that it's the balance inside the forest. You can't always just remove one single species. You've got to find a balance and a sustainable balance. So you pull out just enough of a certain species that it's sustainable, but you also pull out other species so that they don't become dominant within that area.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And so that is why it's important to promote lesser known species.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff you can find at your local woodcraft?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
We've been a partner with them since 1999.
It's a long time.
Yep.
Babs, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Like your watch.
Yeah, thank you. Like your watch.
I'm here with Nick from ShopSmith. You may have heard of ShopSmith Tools, but he just bought this company about 6 months ago, right?
Yeah, 6 months ago. We're a 70-year-old brand.
So, can you tell me about your products?
Yeah, so I bought it because I see this opportunity. We're a 70-year-old brand. Not much has changed over 70 years. We have made a lot of improvements, but it's 7 tools in one. The biggest barrier to entry into woodworking is space. This is a table saw, a lathe, a drill press. It's also a disc sander, a shaper, a router, and a horizontal borer. We also make attachments that fit on it. You can see this one here. This is our belt sander.
Oh, nice.
And then we have our bandsaw and jointer here.
Oh,
so
really?
it's 11 tools in one that fit in this space.
Yeah, it takes up, what, 6 feet by?
Not even.
Really?
Yeah, 5.5 feet by 2 feet.
So I've seen ShopSmiths on the internet before, but
yeah,
when I walked in, the first thing I noticed, you have a digital screen, so that's something different, something new.
So what we've also done is taken the guesswork out of using the machine. So on the home screen, it'll have all the features that you'd want. So it's like if you're using a table saw, you hit the table saw button, and then you'll say, what blade am I using? Am I using hardwood or softwood? What kind of sawing am I doing? And when you press go, the motor calibrates to the right RPM for you for that function. And the same is true for all 11 functions we have.
So that just prompted the question, so if you do that for, say, hardwoods or something, and it knows the blade, it knows the speed, so it's going to reduce burning, better cuts, cleaner cuts.
It's also a smart motor, so all the electricity here is 110. So it's a 1 3/4 horse motor. And so if you're heavy ripping, it's going to feel like it's dragging on the engine, but that's doing it intentionally to save electricity. If you run a 220 line, which this can convert to, it's a 2 horsepower motor.
Oh, okay.
And you can rip through boards really fast.
Nice. So can you show me how this thing works? How you adjust everything?
Yeah, I'll turn it into a table saw.
Okay.
First, you raise the table up. So what's great is you only need one tool to do everything.
So you have a disc sander on here now.
Disc sander here. So it won't actually be very hard to change this out to a table saw.
Yeah.
So you take the disc off, put the saw blade on, line those up. You want this tip back just a little bit so the table catches it. Okay. Get everything tight. Slide this back over. There we go. And it comes right up. There's the saw. Saw guard's in place. Now you got a table saw. And that's our fence, yeah. Now you have other tables we can add to this, extension tables to make it a more robust platform.
Yeah.
But
I
then
like the height of it. Like it feels like a better height. A lot of your job site saws and stuff are really low.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then what we've done here is taken the guesswork out. So if you come over here, you can see it's like, all right, we're gonna use table saw. So you hit table saw, and then you say, okay, we got a 10-inch blade on there. We're gonna be doing some hardwood cutting. We're gonna call it general sawing. It's gonna program at 3,400 RPMs, and you would hit go, and it goes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we've taken all the guesswork out of everything.
You also sell a dust collector to go with it?
We do. And what's great about it, it's as loud as it is.
That's quiet.
Yeah.
That's quiet. That's impressive.
600 cubic feet, 1.5 horse.
1.5 horse.
So yeah, it's hooks to all these machines, and we've been doing some heavy sand in here, so you can't suck it all up.
Yep.
But, you know.
Tell me about your the way it's drill press conversion there.
Yeah. So this
similar to.
So we'll go from here, and you basically remove all the stuff and you tip it up. You turn the table 180 degrees, so now it's up here, and it can flip up the other way too.
So you can drill sideways into something?
No, so the motor can be underneath, and you can do routing.
Oh, cool.
So this goes up to 10,000 RPMs.
Oh, wow.
So it goes from 250 RPMs to 10,000. So
pretty cool.
That's why we can do 7 tools,
Yeah.
right? And again, it's all programmed, so whatever you're doing. So in this case, we're drilling holes for our T-light here, and it's got all the same, set stops, depth stops, and all that.
So this is called the Mark 7, you said?
Yeah.
And so if you went, where would you order this from? ShopSmith?
Right off our website.
ShopSmith.com?
Yep.
And you get the whole setup.
Get the whole setup with 7 tools, and then you can add these attachments. So the belt sander, the bandsaw, the jointer. We make a strip sander too.
Okay.
So you can go to 11 tools, and then our other standalone, the dust collector.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Keith from Bow Products. Y'all got some new stuff coming, right?
We've got some great new stuff coming.
Tell us about it.
This is our new low-profile clamp system. And I'll just start, the best thing about this is the sticker. It's the sticker that comes with it. No, seriously, this is going to be just a game changer. We try to cover all the bases with this low-profile clamp kit. When you open the box, you get this plastic-covered descriptor. Tells you all the part numbers, all the parts that comes with it, their applications, how it's used to get you started. But I'll just go over a few of them.
Okay.
First, the clamp will mount to a dog hole table, 19 or 20 millimeter. It'll mount to a T-track. It can be direct mounted, screwed directly to the table with our system. We just try to cover all the bases with this. Comes with multiple tips. This is our EVA sacrificial tip. You swap that out. You could swap it for this serrated V-block tip, low profile tip, or maximum grip tip. Looks like a meat tenderizer. So if I want to mount direct to the table with a screw, I can. Pull the appropriate parts, drive the screw, you're mounted to the table. If I want to mount to a dog hole, so our new dog fits 19 to 20 millimeter, spans in the hole and below the work surface. So it actually not only holds anything you're clamping, if you're making your own jigs and fixtures or our clamp, it expands in the hole and below the work surface. So it kind of pulls it down, which is an added benefit. If you're on a CNC and you've got sacrificial table with T-tracks, we have a barrel nut T-bolt. As your surface is, as you resurface your table, the barrel nut will take up the bolt so that it's always flush on the top. Very cool. These little buttons are for direct mounting, like this system here. I'm screwed right to the table with that one. Comes with a 10-inch and a 4-inch stop, extruded aluminum. They work the same way. Direct mount to the table, dog, T-bolt. So if I want to clamp something irregular, direct mount, screw it to the table, advance the tip this way, and I'm clamped.
Nice.
Same with the stops. They work the same way. You'll get this kit in this EVA tray in the box, but if you have a sustainer, you can take that out and pop it right into a sustainer, which is great. We will also sell the dogs in a kit of 6. They will come in a fitted EVA insert. This one was made for 4, but it'll be 6. And that also will come out of the box and fit in a sustainer.
Nice. Is this available now or is it coming?
It's going to be out in this fall.
Nice.
Yep, later this fall.
Of course, you still have your extender fence as well as your push sticks, your feather boards, all that good stuff.
We're just expanding the line, and this is one of our newest products. It's just been well received. It's a big hit.
Oh, y'all doing good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
We're just super happy and proud to be part of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Keith.
Very
I
cool.
appreciate you, man.
Hey, thanks.
That's really cool. I'm here with Connor with Crocodile Cloth. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so Crocodile Cloth is going to be the biggest, baddest, toughest cleaning wipe on the planet. You're not going to find one bigger, better, or wetter. All of our products are going to be 10 by 15. So absolutely massive cleaning product.
So this is for your hands?
Hands, tools, surfaces, and really any kind of mess you make. So today we got a couple different things. We got some swamp buckets, oil and grease in that bucket, our mystery bucket, which has some household supplies in there, and then a bucket of acrylic paint. So we've been having people stick their hands in there, find a little baby crocodile, and then clean their hands with crocodile cloth.
Do it for me.
All right, let's do it. I'll go in the mystery swamp bucket here. So as you can see, some household stickiness in there and our little baby crocodile. So from there, one wipe, we'll go ahead and start taking all that off. And you'll be able to shake my hand again afterward and not feel any stickiness, griminess, or anything left behind from the cloth.
I heard you tell the other guy that it has some aloe in there too, so you don't dry your hands out and all that good stuff.
Correct, yeah, about 97% water. We put some aloe in there. So if you're used to using harsher chemicals that dry you out, Crocodile cloth won't do that.
Where you buy these at?
So you can buy these nationwide at Home Depot. We got an Amazon storefront as well. Also in your mom and pop hardware stores, Napa, Ferguson, but Home Depot and Amazon are your two best places.
I'll link to them on Amazon.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah, see, told you.
Appreciate it. I'm here with Dave from the Original Saw Company.
Yep.
Right. Tell us about your company and your product.
So what it is the old DeWalt radial arm saw. That's the patent that we own.
Yeah.
In 1989, the boss's dad bought the patent from Lancaster Machinery and moved it from Pennsylvania out to Iowa and started producing it the next fall.
So y'all producing these in the U.S.?
Yep. Only American-made radial arm saw there is.
Oh, wow. So there's some negative connotation around radial arm saws in some circles.
Yep.
What makes this one different?
Well, this one is built out of cast iron, rigid 10-gauge steel frame. So the problem with radial arm saws of the past ones they had problems with was the flexibility between the frame and the arm. It would flex up, and then that saw blade could climb on the material and run at you.
Gotcha.
So this one, if you grab a hold of it, I mean, it's not moving anywhere.
Heavy.
Just the weight of the yoke and the motor assembly and the pressure that you keep on with the arm makes it a much more safer piece of equipment.
What's the features of this saw overall?
This is the smallest saw we build. This is our 3512 contractor duty. It's got up to a 12-inch blade capacity on it. It's got a 2 1/4-inch long arbor, so you can put a dado stack on it. So you elevate the saw up. There's like 12 inches of travel on it, so you can do mortise and tenoning work. You can swing the arm to miter. You can pivot to rip.
Oh, cool.
You can tip the blade to bevel, so you can make compound miter cuts. The repeatability on crosscut and the simple adjustments, how quick you can change it over from miter to bevel to straight cross-cutting. Changing tooling, you can put shaper blades on that arbor.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Do the stands and all, y'all sell those as accessories?
Yep. These are all made by, well, not necessarily by us, but a metalworking company 20 miles from us. So it's all U.S. stuff also. Our extrusions are done at a extruding company in Iowa also. It's as American made as we can do it.
Yeah.
We hand wind the motors ourselves still.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So this saw, like small cabinet shops, contractors, industrial arts programs at schools and colleges still buy them.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yep.
Is there something going on with this, or is this just?
This is just a demo
Okay.
for it. This is the stand and the tables and
So you
measuring
offer a
systems.
miter saw stand?
Yep.
That's important, man. I got a bunch of woodworkers watching this.
You bet.
Yeah. So that the miter stand with this
Yep,
side table and all.
Yep, we offer a kit that'll be 4 foot on either side with measuring systems.
Yeah. On wheels, so you can move it around.
So that's an extra.
Yeah. But you can add that on.
Upgrade option.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can hook them all together so the whole thing would be
Mobile.
portable around the shop. I guess I wouldn't say portable because it's
mobile.
Mobile. Better mobile-based kit.
Yeah.
This saw is probably 450 pounds.
Yeah.
Just the saw itself.
Well, that cast iron's heavy.
Yep. Like I said, this is the smallest one, 12-inch blade, but you can go undersized. You can put this is a 10-inch stack diameter, but you can go down to 8-inch and just do some really light work. It's a little bit easier on the motor, less revolving mass. Our biggest saw is a 22.5-inch blade
That's a
on our
beast.
Super Duty series.
Yeah.
So you can get an 8-inch depth of cut with that and a 32-inch cross cut.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
You bet. Good to meet you. Thanks
man.
for stopping through.
I'm here with Mara with Sutherland Wells.
Yes.
It's a wood finish, right?
We make polymerized tung oil wood finishes.
Nice. Can you show us what you got?
I'm standing in front of our Murdoch's line, so some samples of our Murdoch's line. And our Murdoch's line contains our polymerized tung oil with our super durable, non-yellowing uralkyd resin. So it's a polymerized tung oil and resin blend product, which will allow you to get the look of a tung oil finish with the durability of a resin. So we like to say it's a classic oil aesthetic for contemporary woodworkers.
Yeah.
And so over here on the left, this is our hard sealer and hard oil combination. So 2 coats of hard sealer and then I think 3 coats of hard oil on top of it.
Super smooth.
And then on the right, we have our Murdoch's top coat. So it's 2 coats of hard sealer and our Murdoch's U500 top coat. This is developed as a floor finish, but it's a great finish for tables, kitchen countertops, bathrooms, anywhere where there's you need the durability of a really powerful resin. And then this is our original, while I'm here, this is our original tung oil finish. It's our polymerized tung oil and some solvents, some odorless mineral spirits. And it is a Green Guard certified product, and it is also VOC exempt.
Nice.
So, and all of our products are VOC compliant.
And you were telling me that you could scuff this finish. You don't have to sand it all the way back down.
That's right. So once you apply any one of our finishes, as long as it's been applied properly, it's going to wear. It's not going to fail. And when it comes time to recoat, you don't have to sand it back down to the bare wood. So you just scuff it and recoat it.
Awesome.
And so we do. So my husband Rob, who's how I got into this, he does historic preservation work. So in that world, it's a great finish because once you apply it, you never have to disturb the original wood again.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah, and you can coat over other finishes as well.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm here with Mr. Paul from ClearVue Cylcones. They got some really cool products for garage or small shop woodworkers as well as bigger shops, right?
Exactly.
Let's see what you got.
So this is our mini CVO6 Cyclone. So basically, it's those in a mini version, basically. Same scaled down unit. And I can show you an example.
Yep.
Basically, we're going to take all your sawdust, fine dust, and put it into the bucket instead of in your shop vac. Shop vacuum will actually just be the suction for it. That way, you could see inside there. You don't have to change your filters out. They stay clean for quite a while. I'll just throw it on for a second and give you an idea what it looks like. Basically, the idea, obviously, is to let nothing goes in your shop vac and puts that dirty air back in your shop. It keeps your filter clean. And the same premises for the large units. Same thing, just a larger unit.
So what's the difference in the blue and the clear? Is it?
So this is more commercialized, if you will. It's just a stronger unit. It can be set outside,
Oh, okay.
But you can't see the action going on like you can in the plastic one, and everybody likes to see that. So
y'all sell the entire unit with the filters and everything?
We do. Yep. The filters, the shaker to get your filters clean. Yep.
Is it automatic filter cleaning or is it manual?
Nope, it's automatic. You just plug it into a timer or directly into the wall. It'll shake the filters clean. So
you also offer
Yep, we offer blast gates, 6x4s, to reduce from 6-inch to 2.4s to go to your machines. Blast gates are self-cleaning, so they won't get jammed like a typical blast gate would.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check any of this stuff out, where do they go?
Please go to ClearVueCyclones.com.
Also, thank you, Mr. Paul.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. We're with Alan with Super Clear, right? Resins and epoxies.
That's right. How you doing, Matt?
Good. How you? So just tell us about what you got here.
So
and what makes you different?
So we're out here showcasing our epoxy resins. We've got a number of them, anywhere from our countertop epoxies, our tabletop epoxies, our deep pours, and we've got a couple of different deep pours depending on what you're trying to do. We're an actual manufacturer of resins. We've been manufacturing these resins, polyester resins, mostly for FRT products, which are all composite products. We've been doing that since late 1950s. So we're based in St. Petersburg, Florida. We've been family owned for a very long time until recently. So we're a small, big company.
Yeah.
But we're American based. We manufacture here in the US, and that's a big thing. We've got on-staff chemists. We've got a couple of labs, as well as some testing facilities. And we're able to formulate high quality products.
Cool. So if somebody's wanting to get started in resins, say,
Yes.
I think a lot of people start with maybe charcuterie boards or even, serving trays, things like that. What type of resins would you recommend for those?
So it depends on your application. So if you're doing a charcuterie board, something like this, you might want to use like either a tabletop or our art resin. It depends on what you'd like to do. This was used with our art resin. That was art resin as well, but this is tabletop. Tabletop's a little bit softer. It's more used as a coating to coat tables, bars, restaurant chairs, tables, things like that. But it has a dual use, just like our deep pour does. The dual use is we recommend sealing your wood. Wood's porous. It likes to gas out, likes to breathe, likes to soak in whatever it's soaking into. It's going to release out. So if you have a nice thick viscosity sealer like our tabletop, we recommend putting that on first before you go ahead and pour your deep pour.
Okay.
Now,
so you would put the sealer on top of this and then use the deep pour here?
So for example, if you're going to pour this, you're going to seal the edge in kind of anywhere that deep pour might run over onto. That way it prevents gassing. So you're going to put it on, you're going to leave it for, in 70 to 72 degrees. You're going to leave it on there for about 2 to 4 hours till it hardens and tacks up. And if you kind of want to know what that is, what that's like, if you ever gone to a Waffle House and put your elbows down on a countertop, nothing's coming up, but it's still tacky. So that's what you're waiting for. Then you can go ahead and pour your deep pour. But I know these are pretty ostentatious. A lot of epoxy. I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't really like using a lot of epoxy. These are just our show pieces.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great tool actually to have when you're looking at big slabs that might have some imperfections in them.
Right.
You can still use those. They're not going to the chipper or the burn pile. So it's a fantastic tool.
Epoxy's probably saved more wood than anything in history. Because before that, like you said, a lot of those things that were pieces that had all these imperfections and stuff in it,
you're not going to
just
use
throw
it.
away. Yeah.
I mean, unless you're whittling wood.
Right.
Unless you're doing lathe work or something like that, you might not use it.
Right. You were talking about the VOCs on your products?
Yeah, so we have 0 VOCs. What that means is there's no solvents in there. So VOC is volatile organic compounds. That's essentially solvents in there, things that fume off. And then what you get is shrinkage. You get a lot of gas, fumes in the air. Could be noxious. It's generally unhealthy.
Yours doesn't have that stuff?
No, not for this. Now, that is useful in certain applications.
Right.
But if you're using it in these kinds of epoxies, if you're a company that uses it, you're really just trying to, it's a filler. Right. If you're using it to do any sealing of concrete, things like that, that's a great penetrator. So adding a solvent, depending on the formulation, is going to be a great penetrator. That's not necessarily needed here. You're not going to want that. You don't want to pay for 3 gallons and get like 2.5.
Right.
So, and also that's the smell that comes off and make you nauseous. So
Awesome.
we don't have any of those.
Awesome. So if somebody want to check out Super Clear, where they go?
SuperEpoxySystems.com or on Amazon, or give us a call, especially if you're starting out. We have great customer care, customer service, customer tech support. We'll walk you through your project.
Awesome.
We have no problem with that.
Cool. Thank you, man.
All right. Hey,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
Appreciate it, Matt.
I'm here with Mr. Sheldon Smith. His tool company is called Outlaw Tool Company, so we had to stop and say hello, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is your system you invented on cutting crown molding, right?
Yes.
Can you show me how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 3-step system, very simple. It's not only the best teacher, but the best, most accurate cutting system. So all you have to do is 3 simple steps. Whichever crown molding you have, spring angle, crown molding is 30, 52, 45, and 38. So we have 3 different jigs. We have a 52, a 45, and a 38 that does it for you. Once you get the right jig in the saw, the second step is to measure your corner. We have a patented protractor. It's the only one ever invented where the scale has been manipulated to speak the same language as your saw instead of a 360-degree language, right? So it makes it real simple. So you just measure the corner, divide by 2. That's your saw setting. The third step is we have actually a patented picture system that shows you how everything sets up so you don't have to think upside down and backwards. And once you get to the third step, you're right here. Then the patented system that only makes you perfect, the only system ever where you don't move the saw. Instead of moving the saw, you reverse the jig, reverse the molding, and make a perfect mirror image cut every single time. So it's the only system that makes you perfect automatically without trying. We also have a special roller for your long molding that holds you up in place so everything's stable in both directions without having to readjust. So that's how our system keeps everything stable and makes all your cuts perfect.
So if somebody wanted to check this out, where they find it at?
You can get it at outlawtoolco.com. That's the only place. We're not in stores because it has to be demonstrated.
Okay, cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right, we're with Craig.
with WoodMizer.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So I thought WoodMizer only made sawmills.
As most people do.
So what we got here?
I'll just kind of elaborate on that a little bit. So back in 2018, we started introducing our woodworking line. We went from just being a sawmill company and a firewood company to wanting to be able to do everything with the tree. So we basically make it from forest to final form. This machine here is one of our joiner and planer combo machines. So the top of the machine has got a joiner blade, so you can joint your wood going across. After you joint the wood, joint a face, joint an edge, you can actually run it through the opposite side. It has feed rollers, so you can feed it through for your planer side. Also with this machine, it makes it a little bit different, is it's got a side spindle cutter, so you can do a side profile. You can also do, if you're doing S4S, you can do 3-pass S4S with this machine.
Wow, kind of one and done.
Yep, very good small shop, hobbyist shop, beginner shop tool. The guys that need a joiner, need a planer, but don't have the space for everything.
It's pretty cool. I hate to ask, what's the price point on this?
This one is it's on sale right now for about $8,200.
But this is like industrial quality.
Yeah, so it's all industrial quality. It's all plain down cast iron tables. It has a helical head option, so if you want to get rid of the straight knives, you got the helical heads, you can put the helical head on it. So with the back spindle here, the way it's set up now, it's set up for straight knives, so if you're just doing S4S, if you really wanted to with this machine, you can actually do tongue and groove on this machine.
Really?
It's just a matter of running all your tongue on one pass, changing the tooling out, put the groove knife in, and run the other piece back to the other side. The thing that makes it different is it's 2-button actuated, so safety-wise, you have to have both hands on the buttons to control the saw blade, so you can't reach in and grab the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new piece of equipment. We just came out with it last year. It's got extension tables, so you can run as long as you need to for your work pieces. You can run 13 inches wide on 1 inch thick. I believe 8 inches wide on 6 inches thick. It's pneumatic, all electronics. Got all the sensors on the machine to keep you safe. That's basically what this machine is designed for here in the U.S. is safety. Hands away from the blade while you're cutting the wood. Also designed for multiple boards at one time, gang them up on the gang box in one cut. Yep.
Awesome.
So this is one of our 4-sided molders. So it's got 4 cutting heads on. It's got a bottom cutter, top cutter, 2 side cutters. The way it's set up now, standard, is just doing S4S boards. So you got board comes in, you got your bottom cutter, you got your first side cutter, you've got an adjustable side cutter for your width, then you get your final top cutter. A lot of times this machine is used for doing paneling, doing tongue and groove, doing shiplap siding, doing floorboards and back reliefs. You can do all that stuff with one pass. So instead of having to go to your joiner, then your planer, then your table saw, and then your shaper, run your rough board through one pass to get your finished product.
That's pretty cool. Efficiency.
It's a very efficient machine. This is going to be kind of the step up to the guys that are doing production, tongue and groove, production siding, production flooring, designed to run 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Very easy tooling changes. Like I said, if you can dream it, basically you can build it with this machine. Really? You can do single pass crown molding, so you can take your rough board, run it through, run a different top profile, edge profiles, get whatever custom crown molding you want to do in one pass, you can do it.
Cool.
If you want, it has helical head options. So if you want to run helical heads, top, bottom, sides, you can also do that option.
Yeah, pretty neat.
So this is our newest of the line. This is the MP280. We've got an MP260 and an MP360. The 260 is going to be your more entry level, the smaller floor space, smaller capacity. It starts about $14,000. The MP280 here, it starts at about $18,000. Both of those can be single phase or 3-phase power. And then the MP360, which is our bigger model, it's only 3-phase power, but it's made to, it's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Run at full speed all day, every day.
Awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
If you like these tools, you got to check out those amazing tools. You'll absolutely love them. Click that box, give them a big old virtual fist bump.